Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the C3 Friday Free for All, the show for Panther fans by Panther fans. We appreciate you spending your Friday evenings with us every Friday, participating in this Panther discussion. If you would like to join in, well, then do so, man. I have pinned the link to the top of the YouTube chat and the Facebook chat. So if you would like to be a part of this discussion, well, do it, man. This is your show. You already know we're going to do it with our boys, the C3 Legion, the faithful. First up, we got the brand ambassador himself, These Ill Skills. What's up, brother?
What is up, Cody Lack? What's up to my man D Money in the chat and everybody else in the C3 Legion? We are locked and loaded for another Friday night talking some Panthers football and NFL football too. We still got the Super Bowl to go. Pro Bowls tonight as well. We got two Panthers players in that Pro Bowl, J.C. Horn and, of course, Robert Hunt. And, boy, he got me fired up. The Panthers put out the best of mic'd up for the season 2024, and just his energy he brings to the field, his leadership on the field of these other Panthers players, and of course his play as well, man, really just brought my spirits up. And hey, I'm ready to talk some Panthers football, Cody, so let's roll.
Let's roll. You already know we got my man Jake the Snake back into the free-for-all. How are you, brother?
I'm doing great, Cody. I'm doing great, man. Anytime I can spend a Friday, it's another blessing every time. I'm ready to talk some football with you boys. You know, it's always a great time. Appreciate everybody that's watching right now. Keep pounding.
Keep pounding, brother. As always, you know we couldn't have a free-for-all without Panther Pickle.
There he is.
Telling somebody to shut the hell up. Pickle, how are you, brother?
I'm all right, man. I'm all right. I'm all right.
All right. Well, that's good. I'd rather you be all right than be bad.
Yeah.
That's all right by me.
It could be worse.
It could always be worse. That's a good lesson for everyone.
Yeah.
It could always be worse. But hey, man, listen, we appreciate everybody spending your Friday with us. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell, and jump into this via StreamYard if you would like to be a part of the discussion. Gentlemen, let's jump into it. I told y'all earlier today this would be a wide receiver heavy episode because there's a lot of news surrounding the wide receiver buzz in Panther Nation. We're going to start with one DK Metcalf. Many Panther fans have been drooling over this guy because DK Metcalf was asked about Dave Canales. And he said, my rookie year, he had just left the receiver room. So he had coached Tyler Lockett and Doug Baldwin. All those are great guys, and they just spoke highly of him and how detailed he was. His attention to detail, his love for the game really showed in how Russ loved him and Gino loved him. And then he helped develop Drew Lock a little bit as well. So, I mean, he's got a lot of great players under his belt and looking forward to see what he does with the Panthers. Now, anytime another player congratulates the Panthers, then there's always rumors that we might trade for him. However, due to the connection between Canales and Metcalf, boys, how likely is it that the Carolina Panthers could go and grab one DK Metcalf to finally be the number one wide receiver on this offense? Boys, it's a free-for-all. Jump on it.
I like that.
Go ahead, Pickle.
No. It's possible. It's highly possible. But Dave Canales isn't the only coach with connections to DK Metcalf.
Okay.
I believe that our current offensive coordinator switched to wide receivers coach when Dave Canales moved on to passing game coordinator. That would mean that our current offensive coordinator was DK Metcalf's rookie wide receiver coach.
Okay. No, I'm into that. I mean, so listen, I mean, add all these things together, right? With the combination of Dave Canales and Bryce Young and a team that is building on the rise, trying to do something and compete for something, would that be enough for a player like Metcalf to want to come here? Now, granted, I don't know if DK has a no-trade clause in his contract or not, but I don't know. I don't think they would be necessarily something that DK wouldn't want to do. Am I wrong in that?
He's got a 30 million cap hit. I know that.
Okay.
That I do know. That's the reason why I say I don't think it's as likely. Don't get me wrong. If DK Metcalf was on this team, I won't be, excited as hell. I mean, because that means we did something. I still think they have other options that they're going to try to, review, try their way on that. Like Tee Higgins, we always heard the rumor about Garrett Wilson as well. There's also drafting. You just never know. But I think DK is an option. I just don't know if it's as likely as the other options I just mentioned.
Okay. Let me welcome Kyle into the free-for-all. Kyle, what's up, brother?
What's up, Cody? How we doing, buddy? Another great Friday. Just spend the day with y'all, man.
Yes, sir.
When it comes down to DK Metcalf, we talk about these guys that are like, ooh, they have that that nostalgic about their career where they were like, oh, well, I had this coach or this coordinator and I went the fuck off, so I'm gonna go back to that. And if he did that, if he had that thought at all, Cody, he's going to go to the Raiders with Pete Carroll.
Okay. No, that's a great point, and that's what Pickle said too. There's other players or other coaches rather that he has played with before. That's why I mentioned it. Like, was Bryce Young and his resurgence down the stretch enough for a wide receiver like DK to want to come and play with Bryce? And yeah, we're going to bring up all of them because I feel like we got a little bit of news in the past couple of days about all these guys, DK Metcalf, Tee Higgins, and Garrett Wilson. We'll get into all of those and sort of compare them with one another as well. D's, jump in on this, man. How would you feel about DK Metcalf? How bad would the Panthers want to do this? And what do you think the likelihood of this is?
Well, let me point out, Damian Lewis, we got him over here in a hurry from Seattle. It didn't take long for us to make the decision to pull the trigger on him. And I'm sure if the opportunity presented itself, then Dave Canales would love to get DK Metcalf. And I think all the fans would be supportive of it too. Just like D-Money said in the chat, if he wants to be here, then I'm down with it. I don't want a guy that gets traded here that doesn't want to be here. I'm with D-Money. I agree with that 100%. But if he wants to be here, I know Dave Canales would love to have him here. I think he'd be a great target for Bryce Young. All those things would be wonderful. But it just feels like kind of in the back of my mind that we're not going to make any crazy moves like that. We're not going to risk ourselves getting fleeced out of draft capital. And we may not go like over the fence to pay somebody on offense when we're really focusing on the defense this offseason. At least that's what it seems like to me from the reports that's been put out. But moving forward, let's get a DK Metcalf if it presents itself. You never know. They may move him for cheap, and we might be in the right place at the right time. It could happen.
Yeah, and another point I wanted to bring up to piggyback off what you were saying, Dees, now we've built quite the relationship with the Seahawks. Even if you look at Mike Jackson and the trade that we pulled off before the season, there's clearly a lot of communication between these two organizations and the history that both Dave and Dan have in Seattle. Another thing to point out is that between DK Metcalf and Garrett Wilson, you're going to have to trade for him. But I think that the trade would be less for a DK Metcalf because you're going to be paying a premium on Garrett Wilson due to the fact that he's still under a rookie contract right now. Whereas DK has played, and like D said, maybe he'll be able to come here and either Seattle will be able to eat most of the money, or maybe we'll be able to sign him to a more team-friendly deal. I don't know, but I think that he would be a cheaper option than Garrett Wilson, and he's someone who's been around the block. He has a little more salt in his beard, so to say.
Yeah, and he's still got some good prime years left too. It's not like he's 30+ years old right now.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
And I earlier I had said Brad Isaac. I made a mistake. It wasn't Brad Isaac. Canales went from wide receivers coach to quarterbacks coach. He was a quarterbacks coach.
Right.
And
that's why he was able to be with
Metcalf's his rookie year, the Seahawks offensive coordinator was a guy named Brian Schottenheimer, the current head coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay. I mean, yeah, it still
Connections
doesn't really
out
change
there.
too much for me. I mean,
Right,
yeah.
there's connections out there. But if you look at all that, I would say we probably have the most realistic upside at with the allowance to make him a day one starter.
Right.
We have.
Would you? Okay.
I would give a second round pickup for it. At least a second.
For DK Metcalf.
Yes.
Oh man, see, I was hoping that we would get away with less than
Yeah, I was too.
a second.
Well, I mean, we may do, but if I need to do that, I'm willing to do that because we suck at drafting second round picks anyway.
So let me ask you this: how much does that change your opinion between DK Metcalf and Garrett Wilson? Because if you're willing to do that for DK, I think that the draft compensation you just mentioned is probably more in the ballpark for Wilson than it is DK.
I'd be all right with him.
Yeah. And so this is another, it's just a rumor here. This is from JPA Football. It says many insiders believe Jets star wide receiver Garrett Wilson will request a trade out of New York, mainly due to the team's consistent turnover at quarterback and head coach. Who could blame him? You know what I'm saying? So would y'all rather shell out a little bit more compensation if it means getting a younger, dynamic, former top 10? I believe it was a top 10 pick. Top 10 or 15 one. But would you prefer to go in? Yeah, would you go to get a wide receiver like Garrett Wilson over someone like DK Metcalf?
Yeah,
I'd send a second for him, to be honest with you, Cody. It's probably gonna be more than that. I know that, but to me, I would definitely send her a second.
Would you give 2 seconds?
Yep.
Well, here's the deal. So let's remember this: our second round pick is damn near a third.
Yeah, it's 57, right?
So yeah. Now, is there any way to? Okay, what about giving them like a fourth or a fifth this year and a second next year?
I wouldn't do that if I was him.
Why not?
Because you don't know what that second pick's going to be next year. It could be in the 30s, or it could be so late. If I'm them, if you gotta remember though too, we're not the only ones knocking on the door.
No,
Right.
Other teams knocking on that door,
Yeah.
and we're in competition. So it would be better
Driving the
for us
price up.
if we did it that way. But for reality sense, there's going to be other teams knocking on the door, and their packages are probably going to look better than ours. So we've got to figure out a way to sweeten that. If we're going to give them a 4th round pick this year and a second next, and somebody else says, "Well, we'll give you a second this year and a 4th next year," I take that deal.
Let's ask the real question. Would y'all give up
the
first?
second next year?
Would y'all give up a first round pick?
I would not. I would not. There's too many holes on the defense.
I would give 57 this year and on our second next year.
I'd do that.
I'd do that. I'd give 2 seconds in the job.
I would do that. Keep the rest of our picks though. I think 2 seconds.
And then go out and spend a giant fucking bag on Javon Holland, and now you've got 2 superstars.
Well, let me ask you all this, and we're just throwing out ideas here. Would you give up a first next year for Garrett Wilson if it meant keeping your?
I'm not giving up no more first round picks.
2 seconds. I'm good with the 2 seconds. I can live with that.
I'm not giving up no first round picks for nobody.
So at most,
any other teams would either.
So at most, Garrett Wilson for a second round pick this year and next year.
Next year,
Right.
I mean, that's got to be good. That's got to be good.
I mean, at most, Cody, I'd throw another 4th in there for next year if it took it. If someone else offered 2 seconds, I would throw a 4th in there just to make sure I got it.
But correct me if I'm wrong. Don't they got to factor in that we got to pay Garrett Wilson? I mean, I know he's still on a rookie contract, right? But he ain't got 2 years left. Do they not got to factor that in? They don't.
One more year.
Nope.
The Giants did when we traded Brian Burns, though.
Well, that's because he was on the franchise deal. They had to do that because Brian Burns wouldn't have agreed to it otherwise.
I still think 2 seconds should be good enough, man. That's got to be.
Well, I mean that'd be fine, but I'm like Kyle. If I have to sweeten that pot, then I would.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to sweeten it as much as I've got to because I'm not going to let prime talent leave.
Right.
So you're saying you're willing to sweeten the deal for Garrett Wilson?
Yes.
Okay, so how sweet are you willing to go? Because we're already talking about 2 seconds. So at that point, you're talking about first.
Like I said, Jake, my sweetness would be, Jake, we have 57 this year, so I'd give them 57 this year. And I'd tell them that they could have the second from next year as well. If anybody came close to matching that, I'm throwing another fourth on it just to be I got the big nuts. I'm buying this right here, right now. No one else is outbidding me.
Well,
it's still pretty damn expensive too, and you would have his 5th-year option too. So those are all things to consider. Go ahead, Jake.
If you want a number 1 receiver, you're gonna pay for it.
Oh, you're gonna have to pay.
Add a number 1 receiver, and we gave him away for scrap chicken. So
yeah. Hey, let me welcome my brother Cole back in the building on the free for all. Colby, what's up, brother?
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing tonight? It's good to be here with you on another
Doing
Friday.
good,
Hell yeah.
So, Cole, as you enter the conversation, now we'll just bring this wide receiver conversation to the Trinity, right? We'll bring up the 3rd wide receiver. And, boys, I'm going to be real. I'm not even going to hide it with you. My inner Clemson fan is tired of denying that I don't want this, okay?
Oh,
I want this. I want this. And I believe that y'all want it too, even if you don't know it yet. But I think that there are some real ways that Tee Higgins would be incredible here for the Panthers. But one of the reasons why T is back in the news, this is from the director of personnel, Duke Tobin, for the Bengals. This is on Higgins coming back. It's going to be hard. We feel like we have the resources to do it, but it all depends on how the negotiation goes and whether they're willing to accept wanting to come back at a number that makes sense for everybody. And you know what we do with T going forward. I've always been very upfront in my desires to have Tee Higgins on our team. AKA translation, they don't have enough money to have a Burrow contract, Jamar Chase contract, and a Tee Higgins contract on the books all at the same time. That means he's very much in the wheelhouse for the Carolina Panthers, and we don't have to trade for him. Is there anyone right now who feels like Tee Higgins could be incredible here for Carolina? Keep in mind the guys that we have now. We have Xavier Legette going into his 2nd year, the emergence of a young Jalen Coker, and we're going to talk about later Adam Thielen back in the building. So, Cole, we'll start with you. How are you feeling about all these wide receivers? What would you do to go and get them, and who's at the top of your list?
I think I'm right there with y'all. As soon as I hopped in, I heard y'all talking about Wilson and then now Higgins. I think those are my 1A and 1B. It really doesn't matter. I think both of those would blend good with us in Charlotte. They're both really solid players. But outside of that, Cody, I'm really not interested. I'm not interested in a Godwin. Anybody else you want to throw in there?
Yeah.
Only other option I would do is maybe draft Ted at 8. I am kind of high on that.
I do want a big name. I saw someone in the chat put Godwin. Okay, that's like
Godwin.
Yeah, that's not like a real upgrade, like a real danger. Yeah, that's not like some real danger on the outside, like I feel like we need right now. And look, man, I know a lot of people in the chat. Some people don't think Tee Higgins is that dude. We already got a few people in here who don't think Tee Higgins is that dude. But I digress, man. I think he would be incredible here. And if you had Thielen in the slot to take away some of that action like a Jamar Chase would, dude, I think that would be fire. Let me welcome in some people, man, to the free-for-all. We got Poppin from Black Cat Panther Podcast. Pop, what up, brother?
Bang, bang.
What up, what up? And let me bring in the homie D'Angelo, the legend. What's up? Back on the free-for-all. What's up, bro?
What's good? What's good? You know I had to show up when I hear that T. Higgins talk.
I know. I already saw you saying, look, I saw you in the chat saying, not me. All right, y'all tell me why it would be so terrible to have Tee Higgins suit up as a Panther on Sundays. Go ahead.
You want me to go, Pop, or you want?
Yeah, D'Angelo, you be Batman, I'll be Robin. Go ahead.
All right, come on.
Damn.
Okay. All right. Here we go with this Tee Higgins talk, Cody. And for everybody else, man. I don't understand why we want to give Tee Higgins all that money when you see that he is. I honestly don't think he's a number one receiver. Is he a good number two? Great number two? Yeah, but
I
he's
agree.
he's not a Batman. He's not a dog. He don't have that dog in him. If you watch him, he gets hurt.
Oh,
Yeah, hold on, Cody. Hold on, Cody.
He's a
The boy,
pup. He's a pup.
he is. He don't play through injury, so y'all ready to give this man all this money. And I can tell you right now, he's not going to play a full season. He's going to get a little ankle injury. You're going to see him jog out. You're going to see him jogging out with no limp and sit on the sideline. I mean, you know what really pissed me off about Tee Higgins when them boys was fighting? They were fighting. Well, I'd already seen the true colors of Tee Higgins, but it just amplified it at the end of the season when they were fighting for a damn playoff spot, and he gets a little ankle injury or whatever the fuck was wrong with him, and he goes to the sideline, standing on the sideline when you need to be in helping your team. He's not a dog. He don't have it. Now. If you telling me he had the dog of a Jamar Chase, okay, I'm good. I'm good on it because you would have had to drag Jamar Chase out that goddamn field. Tee Higgins gonna pull himself out of the game. He just don't have a dog in him, Cody. He has no dog at all. I mean, I'm not giving him that much money to fucking get hurt every few games because it's gonna happen. It's just some guys that are talented that don't have dog in them. He's one of them. And that's my take.
You know how I view it, though?
Go ahead.
It ain't my money. It ain't my motherfucking money.
But let me.
No, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
But hold up, are we really going to pretend like Tee Higgins, before Pop goes in, are we really going to pretend like Tee Higgins hasn't had multiple seasons of 1,000+ receiving yards? And by the way, hold on.
2.
Well, that's still multiple. That's more than
2.
one, Pickle.
21 to 22. He ain't had 1,000 yards since.
And it damn near had another one this year. And another thing is, hold on. Remember, Jamar Chase has been injured the past couple of years too. That he's missed a couple games.
So he should have had more than he should have had 1,000 yards. Tee Higgins hadn't had over 1,000 yards. And to be honest, even then, they were just barely. 21, he had 1,091 yards. In 22, he had 1,029 yards.
But let's be honest,
he's only been healthy for the 5 years he's been with the Bengals. He's only been healthy for 2 years. In 20, for 16 games. In 20 and 22. 23 and 24, he only played in 12 games.
Just to play devil's advocate a little bit, Cody, I will say that I don't think we're going to be spending as much money as the Patriots are going to offer him anyways. New England needs a wide receiver themselves. They're going to.
Yeah.
I'm not being disrespectful to Tee Higgins. I just don't think he's worth. I don't think he's a true number one.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's worth all of the money he's going to want to demand. And I don't think he's worth all the attention people are giving him.
Well, no,
I agree, Pickle. That's the thing. He's not a number one. If you telling me we're gonna bring him in to be the number two, and we give him number two money, I don't have a problem with that. But giving him number one money, no, hell no, I'm not doing.
I think there's a lot of teams right now that are going to be willing to make Tee Higgins the number one wide receiver, and they're gonna
regret it. They're gonna regret it too. I guarantee you, they're gonna regret it.
All right.
Okay, I agree. Right. That's why I just got to saying. There's gonna be multiple teams out there, multiple. I mean, like 3 or 4 teams.
And I guarantee you, he's gonna ball the fuck out wherever he goes. And this is another example of Panther fans not wanting something good when it's staring them in their face. That's all this shit is.
He's a Tiger.
So you would rather have Tee Higgins over? I know we would have to trade for Garrett Wilson, Cody. But would you rather have?
Let me ask you.
Right.
Let me ask you though. Would you be willing to give up a second round pick this year and next year to trade for Garrett Wilson?
I would be willing to give up. Hold on, not even that. I would give you a second this year and a first next year for Garrett Wilson. That's what I would do.
And a first.
You know what? I'm
Yeah,
cool with that. I'll get
would
on
do
that.
it.
man.
Yeah,
I would
D'Angelo.
do it.
All right, you know
D'Angelo,
what?
Tee Higgins don't cost no first round pick though.
But
Get that.
what?
I'll give
I'd give
Here's
up
the
a
thing.
what if I had to get Wilson.
If
If I had to get, but that's what I'm saying. If I had to do it for Wilson, because I know what Wilson. I know Wilson could be. He was in the discussion for a top 5 receiver. He's arguably one of the best receivers in the league if he had a quarterback. If he didn't have Aaron Rodgers favoring Devontae Adams all the time this year, he would have been a top 5 receiver. If he got the quarterback, Garrett Wilson is a top 5 receiver. So I would definitely.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it this year
It ain't no
because
waiting on his
what we need. But next year I would do. Right.
I don't know, man. Just those
Go ahead,
future
Pop.
first. I'm done not having them future first round
But
picks.
Cody,
Man. Go ahead,
I
Pop.
give him 3
you
seconds.
just said
Cody.
Cody, you just
Go
said
ahead, Pop.
from the wavy gravy himself
Mhm.
that Tee Higgins ain't gonna cost you a first round pick.
Yeah, because you don't have to
That-
trade. You don't have to trade for him. That's my point.
Would
He's
you?
a
But
free
would you
agent.
have to get if he wasn't a free agent? Would you have to give him a first round pick for him? Probably not.
I don't think none of these wide receivers on the market are going for a first. Even Garrett Wilson.
My thing is that, and I agree with D'Angelo. I don't think he shows us the type of the epitome of what we look at as a Carolina Panther wide receiver. Tough, gritty, talk shit, ground pound, willing to block, put your body on the line. Even Adam Thielen does more.
But y'all
And I can't call
laughing.
Adam Thielen. Hold on.
Y'all-
I can't call Adam Thielen a Carolina Panther quite yet.
Bro,
But
y'all
how
are
he plays with
laughing.
his attitude, his tenacity,
He
the
talks
great
shit
catches
too.
that he does, how he puts his body on the line. That's a Carolina Panther. He abolishes that. Tee Higgins, oh my
He pop
pinky
right.
toe.
But y'all wrong for that. Y'all trying to make homeboy sound like he's soft. Like he's just ain't
soft.
He
shit. Like
is.
he's not a jump ball
He
wide
is.
receiver.
Cody.
That's
He
always
is.
been known for going up and getting a high point of the ball and
He's
coming
angel
But he's
down with
soft.
soft,
that
though,
bitch.
Cody.
He's
Come on,
angel
Nah.
Cody.
soft,
Let us
Cody.
get your
He's
Clemson
gonna
guy
be
in the
able to-
draft this
He's
year,
soft,
man.
though.
We ain't got to sign him.
He went to Clemson.
Cody. He
We
has,
ain't
he
got to
has an
sign
imaginary.
I'm telling you,
Let's just
Tee
draft him, man.
Higgins-
His name's Barrett
Tee
Carter.
Higgins is gonna go somewhere and he's gonna be a wide receiver one for someone. And I'll
here
say
for
Jamar
us.
Chase has been just as injured as Tee Higgins.
I think
I'm always
Garrett
in it because
Wilson.
we can't
I
do
think-
no better.
No,
He's
no, no,
gonna
no.
be one here.
I think
No,
Garrett
no,
Wilson
no.
gives us that
Jamal,
element that
here's the thing,
our
though.
offense.
Jamar has missed games.
But here's the thing, though. But hold on. But it's a difference when Jamar Chase get hurt. You remember when, a couple years ago when
it's a
Jamar Chase had that hip
difference
injury? Hold on. I'm finna tell you why. You remember when Jamar Chase had that hip injury a couple years ago, and he kept playing through it. They had to pull him off the field. He was playing through a badass hip injury. Tee Higgins would have never did that shit. Tee Higgins would have never played through an injury. He don't play through.
He was injured to begin with, D'Angelo. The game that you're talking about, he was injured.
What you mean?
And then he went out there and he got really
No,
hurt.
he played. But he played through it. He tried to play through it. Tee Higgins wouldn't have did that. I mean, I'm just saying. I see Jamar Chase get banged up and he don't come out. He plays through injuries. You know what I'm saying? When you a number one, when you a number one, you gotta have that dog mentality, man. You gotta play. You can't just get hurt and come out. It's either you hurt or you injured. You know what I'm saying?
But
So
D'Angelo,
if
do you
you hurt,
realize
then you,
in that game that you were talking about where he hurt his ankle, he was injured before the game and was still out there playing.
Cody, how much of this
So
is
what you
unbiased
talk-
or biased? Which one is it, Cody? Which one is it? I
What?
see the way you smiling. Which one is it? Is this an unbiased or biased opinion?
Bro, no.
You got that
saying
Clemson
no.
Tiger fan.
No, let me tell you.
That's
I am
all
presenting.
Tigers.
I am presenting. Look, but and I said this earlier, and Jake agreed with me. You may not see him as a number one, but NFL teams do. I
We
think
do.
I think the
But you-
Patriots,
I wish he would
but
have
there-
been
but there-
over
but there-
here,
but
but
there- but
the
but there are a lot of-
49ers.
there are a lot of dumb NFL teams, Cody. We know that. A lot of dumb NFL teams make
They're
dumb
saying
stuff
that,
all the time.
They're
He's been
saying
one
the
of them for a long
49ers.
time.
But look, they're saying the 49ers might let go of Debo to get Tee Higgins.
Well, I would do that. I would
Well,
take
then
T
I
over
think
Debo.
Debo's
I would do that.
hurt
Yeah, I would too.
I would,
I mean,
Everybody
yeah, I
think
would
that
take
way.
T over
Glorified
Debo.
running back.
Yeah,
Also,
right.
but
I would
Debo's
take
trash
T over
now
Debo.
too. So, but Debo's trash now too. Come on.
Well,
Yeah,
Debo,
No,
Debo,
I'm not saying
running
he's
back.
bad.
no.
Not saying
That
he's bad.
ain't
Something that D'Angelo said that caught my attention. I've been thinking about it. He said Garrett Wilson should be talked about as a top 5 receiver. And this is Garrett Wilson has played with Sam Darnold, Mike White, Zach
Right.
Wilson, and
Yep.
washed Aaron Rodgers, and still
Right.
being talked about as the top 10. So you're absolutely right. You got
Yep.
to pay that man.
He
you
needs
got
to
to,
be,
you got.
he
Go
needs to be
ahead.
our number one option. That's all I was gonna say. He just needs to be our number one option.
The best thing about that, you don't have to wait for him to develop. He's ready. He can
Nope,
be
he's already
right
ready.
right now.
He's in
Pay
his
that
Hey,
man.
prime. He's in his
And
me,
he
prime.
ain't injury prone.
Hey, let me welcome in my man holding it down on the West Coast, Alex, 814 Panthers. Alex, what's up, brother?
Hey, happy Friday, fellas.
Happy
So,
I
Friday,
thought
man.
you said
What up,
Al. I said, oh no.
Nah, I remember that. Alex.
The Steelers will be here later, I'm
Different
sure.
one.
Hey,
Different dude.
Hey, if you say his name enough, he'll probably pop up. So
He said it 3 times. He's already here.
yeah, that's the Sandman right there. Say his name 3 times in the mirror. Yeah, he'll pop up and tell you how terrible Bryce Young is. Alex, what's up, brother? We're talking about these wide receivers, sort of comparing DK Metcalf. And I want to get D'Angelo and pop in on that one too. But between DK Metcalf, Garrett Wilson, and Tee Higgins, who are you leaning toward, Alex, if the Panthers went and got one of those? One of those two.
Definitely. I mean, in the order I would do it is Garrett Wilson, DK, and then Tee Higgins. And I'll tell you why.
I agree.
I'll tell you why. And the thing is that, and I love Tee Higgins, but the thing is, we're gonna have to pay a lot of money, and I think that money should be spent on the defense. Personally, I think that money that we have for free agency should be spent on defense and the draft. And then we trade a couple picks. I like the 2 second-rounders that you guys were talking about. And then if we need to sweeten the deal, like Kyle said, add a 4th. But like that's what we should do. If we put all of our money on a wide receiver in Tee Higgins, where the guy gets banged up, little ankle injuries, little hamstring, little bit, it's just, and we're paying $50 million for what? Now we put all of our money on this guy who's not on the field, and our defense is still how it is. So, me personally, I want to spend the money on the defensive side of the football. But
Yeah, same. I'm just saying, like, if you wanted a wide receiver, you're either going to pay a bag for someone to come here, or you're going to pay way more than you want to in draft capital to be able to get somebody here. And I feel like now we're finally in an era where it's looking like Dan Morgan has some competence. It looks like Brant Tillis has some competence. And I want those guys to have as many future first round and second round picks as possible. Now, I'm not opposed to Garrett Wilson. I just think that, man, if you could add a player like Higgins to this team, that's going to open up everyone to be better. Jalen Coker, Xavier Leggett, Adam Thielen, and
Cody, let me ask
Walker.
you this,
Come
though.
on, man. That's dangerous, bro.
Let me ask you this, Cody, because the thing is that, okay, so in the draft, so you want to pay the 50 mil or whatever he's going to cost, Tee Higgins, you want to pay him. Now the draft, you're drafting, I'm assuming, defense. So that, for me, the reason why I'm not a fan of that is we don't even know if Evero is going to be here after this year. So to me, like, we're going to be drafting defense, obviously, for Evero for what he wants in his style. And to me, I don't know. I just think that, like,
Dan Morgan better be making them picks.
Yeah, I'm hoping he does. But the thing is that, like, I think we spent the money on the offensive line last year, and I think this year we're going to spend the money on the defensive line. That's what I think. I think that's what Dan Morgan's all about, the trenches.
And if you remember, I know everyone wasn't here last Friday, but the Panthers have a few options to be able to free up like $48 million.
We can have
in free agency.
Yeah,
we can resign.
That Cody is, people have to agree. Like, we can say, "Oh yeah, it's possible." Yeah, it's very possible, but people have to agree that, okay, I'll take lesser money now and get it on the back.
Well, but
end.
Pop,
Kicking
it's
the
really
can
not.
down the
It's
road.
not even all restructures. A lot of it is simple shit. Like
Cut.
re-sign Taylor Moton, that could free up around $9 million. Pay J.C. Horn, that could free up around another $10 million.
Cut Shy Tuttle.
Cut Miles Sanders for $5
Yeah,
million. Like
That
there's
needs
a
to be
lot of
done.
easy moves that you can
But
make
why would
to
I-
free up a lot of money that makes it where I'm not going to panic over paying Tee Higgins to make this offense the best it can be right now.
But I already think that Taylor Moton already has us in a pigeonhole. I'm not saying that Taylor Moton's playing bad, but I think he's coming to the end of of his chapter as well.
I think
I
he
think
played
we
his
just-
best ball last year, man.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
I don't
giving
think
him
so,
maybe
Pop.
2 more years. But by
No,
that
I don't
time,
think so,
I said,
Pop.
Mhm.
I don't
I
think
think
so,
a couple
Pop. No, just to interject real quick. The reason why I say that because tackles can play in their late 30s. You know what I'm saying? If you're a good tackle and you ain't had a serious injury, you know what I'm saying? They can play to damn near 40.
And I really do feel like Moulton has played his best football in the
And he don't
past 2
stay hurt.
years.
But
And he don't
Let me
stay
ask-
hurt either.
Cody,
Yeah.
Say it, Jay.
Cody, even if we got, let's just say we did what you're asking, Tee Higgins again. Okay,
Mhm.
So we're gonna be scoring. Let's just say, what are we gonna score? 30 points a game, but we can't play defense. We can't stop that. To me, that just doesn't make sense at all.
Well,
we got
the
we gotta-
reason
We got
the
a guy on our
reason that-
defensive line
the-
called Ray. It ain't gonna take
the-
much to upgrade this line, y'all.
But
Man,
what I'm saying is though, is if you look at some of the defensive players available via free agency versus the defensive players that's going to be available in the draft, I would rather get younger on defense. And if we're going to spend free agent money, get a number one wide receiver and then use the rest of your 9 picks on the defense if you want to. You know what I mean? And that doesn't mean you're not going to spend some free agent money on the defense as well. But I just think that year 3 is so important for this offense and for Bryce Young. Like,
Yeah.
just keeping it real. Like,
Yeah.
you have the offensive line. Now you have to give him every weapon imaginable. Why not, you know? And listen, even if you don't think Tee Higgins is the best wide receiver, one in the NFL, that's fine. Think about him in comparison with Xavier Leggett, Adam Thielen is coming back, which we haven't talked about yet. Jalen Coker turned it on, looked a beast. Like, all of a sudden, that's a pretty lethal wide receiver room that we're looking at. If you add Tee Higgins into that mix.
We also got
I just don't want to pay that money for somebody that I am not reassured that they're going to be able to stay on the field. Now I will go DK because I think DK can also teach is able to get how to use his body a little bit more efficiently, how to run routes certain ways with his body where he has more of an advantage, and he has the speed and the experience to take off the top as well. I think that's more scarier than Tee Higgins to me personally. You see a two big body wide receiver that both can debo you and have size and high point the ball, and you got Jalen Coker and Thielen and Sanders. You can also block with these guys if you want to run the ball. I mean, you're physical now.
Yeah.
And I'm not spending a whole bunch of money on DK, and he's already said that he has a great relationship with Canales and what Canales has done over the years while he's been there. So I would lean more on that, and then maybe next year bring in another guy who could then learn, because Thielen's only here for 1 more year. I don't know how long y'all want to keep Grandpa Thielen.
Yeah, no, it's only a year. It's his last year.
Yeah,
So
somebody needs to start
let
playing
him-
better than Thielen, though. I will say that.
I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying time catches up to everybody.
Yes,
I'm
it
not
does.
expecting to keep Thielen here for another 3 or 4 years, guys.
Yeah, get them cops.
Let's
off
just
of
be
it.
reality. We holding on as long as we
GTA.
can. Let them
They play the hell
fly.
out of GTA.
Yeah, I mean, Thielen.
But
that's
also,
Bryce's guy.
That's
but
That's
Pops, to me,
Bryce's
that's
deal.
another
Howard.
reason. That's another reason why I don't mind getting another wide receiver in this room, because you're going to be losing Adam Thielen, who has the most experience and reps with Bryce Young. So get another badass guy to come in here and but I do understand what you're saying though, and that Wilson represents a different skill set than is currently available on the roster. I do understand
That is
that.
very true.
I do understand that. I just think that there's more than one way to skin a cat, and both of those things could be very beneficial to us. By the way,
Just let go Garrett Wilson.
hey, Cole, the chat said they know you're losing, bro. You ain't got to smash and control that hard, bro.
Yeah, right.
Hey,
Play
look, I'm
GTA.
playing at home right now. I'm in the playoffs with my college
Bro, they
ultimate
said they know
team.
you're
They have a whole
losing, bro.
podcast about that.
They
shit.
said
Who are
it's
you
not
playing
that
as?
serious, bro.
Come see me.
Who are you playing as?
I'm playing with my ultimate team. Carolina
Oh,
yeah.
Cody G gets slapped
So,
up if you don't know.
Let me ask y'all
right
this
now.
thing. Would y'all, well, go ahead, Jay. Do you want to
I
ask
was just
something?
gonna say a name that we ain't really talked about enough is Brand Tillis. I mean, if I get that notification on my phone that we signed a big free agent, I'm not gonna be worried about the details as much as a lot of people. Am I gonna look at them? Absolutely. But I mean, the way that we've been structuring these contracts, I mean, even when people said we overpaid Robert Hunt, are we saying that we overpaid him now, y'all? Are we saying it now? I'm not.
Nope.
I sure the hell ain't.
Does
Because
he
I mean,
need more money? Because I'm down for that.
we approved around to the league that signing your guards, signing offensive linemen matters. It does. No matter how much you got to pay them guys. But the way that he's structured them contracts, man, I'm not worried. I'm just not. Not right now, anyways.
Yeah. No, I hear that, man. I'm not gonna freak out about the money situation.
I just don't think we're in competition with these teams that got money, like the Raiders, like the Patriots. They can do that. They can go get a Tee Higgins and go get a Tetero from Arizona and have their number one, their number two, then have their number three, the other guy that's already there. They have the money to do it. I don't think that we should stress or
the Raiders don't have
stretch a
quarterback though.
That's fine. I mean, they'll plug in somebody, but they still have money though. That don't mean they can't go in the draft. That doesn't mean they can't move up. I mean, it depends on their negotiation skills. But I just don't want to sit here and stretch ourselves out so thin that we can't do anything when we got so many holes on this team just for one person. I'm cool on that.
Well, I'll say this right here. I'll say this right here. Here's, you know, it's a copycat league. You know what I'm saying? And what I really think what's going to happen. I've said this to a few other people as well. I really think that we gonna function wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? When you look at
start over, D'Angelo. You were breaking up so bad. You were breaking up. We couldn't hear you. Start over.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Go
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, what I was saying was, you know, it's a copycat league. So what I really think, you know what I'm saying, I think Dan Morgan is going to go out and bring us a one of these young veteran receivers, not old, somewhere around, you know, like a Tee Higgins, a Garrett Wilson, a DK Metcalf, somebody. I think they're going to make a move, you know, because if you go back and look in recent history, Josh Allen got his guy in his second year. They C.J. Stroud got Stephon Diggs. With these young quarterbacks, you know, they'll go out and get a surefire number one receiver. You know what I'm saying, to help that young quarterback out. So I'm not going to be surprised at all if we make that move in free agency to get one of these surefire number one receivers.
Well, you got to figure last year, D'Angelo, we didn't have the cap space nor the signing power to be able to sign anybody that was a true number one receiver. So we kind of skipped over it and we signed Deontay Johnson on a trade just to try and help out the wide receiver room, and it sucked. So, yeah, I totally agree. I've been saying that for 2 years. This is the year that we go out and get a number one receiver. I don't know what his name is, and I'm not going to pretend that I do, but I know that we're going to go get one.
Yeah, we're going to go get one. And it ain't going to be – and I know a lot of y'all want Tech. I'm not talking about a rookie. I'm saying they're going to go get a receiver that's already solidified, that's already showed that he can play. That's what they're going to do.
That's why we're talking about this tonight so much, because I think between the three that we mentioned, Metcalf, Wilson, and Higgins, I'm willing to bet one of them is going to be a Panther. I don't know which one, but I think that Dan Morgan knows the importance of this year 3 for the Panthers. So I think they're going to be really aggressive. And he even said as much in his interview.
He said it. Yeah, he said it.
Yeah,
so he said it. He said it was aggressive.
Do me a favor. Somebody pull up the free agency wide receivers that are available this year.
All right,
it looks terrible.
It's terrible. It's terrible. Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible.
Last year was the year to go get them.
Right. We gonna if we want a surefire bona fide number one receiver, we're gonna have to trade for it because it ain't on the. It's not on, other than Tee Higgins, it ain't on the free agent market unless you want a Hollywood Brown or somebody.
But also
I've heard
the fact that Garrett Wilson commented under that highlight clip that Bland posted on Twitter, saying,
"Oh, it was awesome."
Yeah, he said, I guess Bryce is pretty good, and then Garrett Wilson commented underneath it. He said he is. So that's another thing too, man. If y'all want Wilson, Wilson wants to play with Bryce Young. Like that's another ace in the bag for him if that's the guy y'all want.
The contract and the Jets, I just don't see the Jets just got a new head coach.
He's
You're about to lose one of your weapons.
He's my number one option
to another team. I just don't see it. I just don't see them letting him go. They're going to try the darnest to get him
the
quarterback in there.
I agree.
Whether they go get Sam Darnold, whether they go get somebody. I mean, they might just draft the guy, Will Howard, somebody. But they're not going to just let that guy walk just because he doesn't want to be there. Or
I agree. I agree with that, Pop. I agree.
Not only that, Devontae Adams not going to be there. So he's going to be right back in his number one role again. He's not going to carry as many snaps.
I think the relationship's so bad, at least when it comes from Garrett Wilson. I think he's looking at the Jets in such a bad light right now that he just wants the hell out of there. He don't give a damn. Like I don't know. I don't know if they can repair that relationship.
Yeah, just so y'all know who we're looking at in the wide receiver free agent market, we got Stephon Diggs, Tee Higgins, Keenan Allen, a lot of older dudes, man. Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper, Chris Godwin, Brandon Cooks, Deontay John. Now we're just, you're right. There's no names. Like the biggest name in free agency is Tee Higgins, and he's 26 years old. That's another thing that I think y'all are forgetting. The dude is young. You know,
I'm not forgetting. I know he's young. He's a young pack of goddamn Scott toilet tissue.
That was awesome.
You know, man. All right, y'all gonna find out the hard way, bro. Tee Higgins is gonna go to the fucking Commanders or the 49ers and ball out, and I'm gonna be like, and what? Remember,
but if he goes to the Commanders. If he goes to the Commanders, he won't be the number one because Scared Terry will be the number one. If he goes to the 49ers, once Brandon Ayuk comes back, he'll be the number one. So he won't be the number one. He won't be the surefire number one.
They're saying the Chargers want him too. They said the Chargers, the Patriots. He would be
the Chargers got money. But how the 49ers going to pay him when they got to pay their quarterback? And they're about to lose some guys off their team because they can't pay them because they got to pay their quarterback.
Well, that's what they're saying. I think they might lose Debo this year.
They're going to lose their safety too, ain't they? That safety?
They're going to lose their linebacker. Greenlaw.
Yeah, they're going to Greenlaw, yeah.
Real AJ says Cody sounded like a homer. You damn right. Red Swarm says I think the Patriots will acquire Tee Higgins for Drake. Yeah, I mean that's the Patriots is the team that I hear being the most likely connected to Tee Higgins, but I don't know that, man. It just depends on how aggressive the Panthers want to get for Tee Higgins. You know, I also don't think Carolina wants to reset the market at wide receiver. So
we should just take Tee Higgins right off the
I
list
agree
because
with
we're not gonna reset it. He wants top 5 money, so it's just like,
right. He wants top 5 money.
It'd be so Carolina to get Godwin. I mean, that's literally. I mean,
and he will do jack shit.
I don't want nobody.
So that Spotrac has him at 25. His new market deal is estimated to be around $25.4 million a year.
Add 15% of that for the Carolina luxury tax. We can't afford him.
So you're talking about 28.
And you're paying J.C. Horn too, probably this offseason.
I'm telling you, man, it'd be easier to get Garrett Wilson and let him sit on his 5th year.
So then, are y'all pretty much unanimous on it would be cheaper to give up draft picks than it would be to go and
I wouldn't say.
pay.
I think cheaper, yes, in regards, but at the same time, I still think Garrett Wilson should be our number one option. If we're going to get number one, Garrett Wilson has to be the number one.
Yeah,
and
right, exactly.
Respectfly, as good as Tee Higgins is and DK, they're good. Don't get me wrong, but Garrett Wilson has to be the number one option.
Right.
Now, Corona man, I understand. I want Garrett Wilson too, but let me just put this little pin in your brain real quick. We do not finesse other teams. We get finessed. I am scared of them trying to negotiate anybody's, especially somebody's number one, to come here. Of what we got to give up. We have so many holes on this team. The Jets will butt rape us just for us to get one player. I'm telling you, I don't know if it's worth it. Just build through the draft and get your players. We're not winning right now anyway.
Well, just to piggyback off of what you just said, I understand that usually when it comes to us trying to trade for somebody, usually we're in the latter half of that deal. I agree to that. But at the same time, I mean, we all really have to think about how bad is the relationship between Wilson and the Jets right now on his side, coming from him. Like how bad?
Remember in the preseason there was a clip of Garrett Wilson and Aaron Rodgers getting into a fight because he was mad that he didn't go to OTAs to get on rhythm on with their timing and shit. So. I don't even think he likes Aaron Rodgers.
Who didn't go to OTAs? Aaron Rodgers or Garrett Wilson?
Rodgers never goes to OTAs, and then
but now Aaron Rodgers gone. Aaron Rodgers gone, and Garrett Wilson about to get a bag.
Yeah, is it really? I mean, do y'all really think Rodgers is out? I don't
know. It's still up in the air currently.
Well, Aaron Glenn came out and said that he would like Aaron Rodgers to play another year, play this year. Yeah. So Aaron Glenn came out and said that.
Yeah, then it means you don't have to worry about getting a quarterback this offseason.
And you still have Devontae Adams, which means you don't have to get a number one target either.
And that's the reason why I'm saying I think Garrett Wilson's trade
get Aaron Rodgers back. Bye, Garrett Wilson. Man.
That's what I'm saying. That's the reason why I'm saying that should be our number one option because I believe that's what's going to happen. He wants the hell up on out of there.
Yeah. And you could spend that. I mean, I know I keep saying it, but dude, a guy like Justin Reed, a safety, Josh Sweat. There's so many guys on the defense, free agents, that I think we could build a lot more than just spending all that money on a Tee Higgins. Where, to me, he's been somewhat injury prone, little bang nicks here and there. So I'm just more. I want Garrett Wilson, honestly.
But Garrett Wilson is a better receiver than he is. They ain't even that shit. Tee Higgins can't walk on the same side of the road as Garrett Wilson, even when it comes to just a bona fide number one wide receiver. Tee Higgins is nowhere near in the category of Garrett Wilson. He asked me.
Now D'Angelo said he's willing to give up this year's second and next year's first for him.
Yeah, I would.
Our next pick Our next pick won't be to 80, so you pick at number 8, and then you don't pick again to 80.
But you got a bona fide receiver that is going to get 1,000 yards and is going to be happy being the number one target.
Player and an impact player too, as well.
Yeah, well, 4,000 yards being ran on it this year.
He don't have no fucking Jamar Chase. He don't have no big name receiver ahead of him here. If he comes here, he is the number one guy.
The only thing is this:
4,000 yards
is that Tee Higgins and Garrett Wilson. The difference is, I know Garrett Wilson is a little bit more vocal, and I don't know if I really want that for my quarterback. I like that Tee Higgins keeps his head down, and he's actually, he can be a number one wide receiver. He hasn't had to show it because they got Jamar Chase, but Garrett Wilson, I don't know.
Well, Garrett Wilson doesn't talk in a bad way. He don't put down the team and shit like that.
Right.
He's a team player. He don't talk bad. He's not
super smart.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, I don't think that he's ever held the diva tag. No one's ever thought of him in that.
Yeah, you ain't never heard Garrett Wilson until until this year when him and Aaron Rodgers had their little, you know, their
Hey,
little
but
space.
look, I'm gonna be real with you though. I don't mind a wide receiver that wants the fucking ball. In his
I don't
hands.
either. I want a receiver that wants
Yeah.
the damn ball.
Give me someone that says "fucking feed my ass, bro." I'm
Yeah.
trying to
Damn.
get to the end zone, dog.
Exactly. Easy Crib. Easy Crib says, sounds like he holds teammates accountable. That's right. He's a team
our
player, but
defense-
he's gonna hold you accountable, and that's what you need. You need,
If
you know what I'm
that's
saying?
the
Not only
case,
that, I would like that pressure to be put on is able to get.
What-
Hey man, it's time to be professional with this. You got to catch
What-
these balls.
We had a
Pause.
record-breaking terrible defense this past season. I mean,
Yes, we did.
can it be worse than it is now? I mean, really, y'all? I mean, do y'all think it can be worse than what it was? I don't think it can be.
No.
We were
I mean, you
literally
don't sign
the most
anybody.
points ever given up on defense ever.
That's why I don't want
I don't know.
You can always be worse.
I don't want 1 and 2 year guys. I want 4-year guys. I want guys
don't
that
know.
are going to
You
be
replaced-
here for a good amount of time.
I mean, I'll be
We
honest.
would have that if we actually were able to draft, but Scott Fitterer couldn't draft a fucking superstar in the first fucking round because he's an idiot. If
I
we
like
could draft better, we would have a team full of fucking players. Like, and that's why I
Right.
want to draft for defense. Like,
we have to get
motherfuckers-
Shy Tuttle. We have to get Shy Tuttle off the line. We have to get
I'm not
LeBron
willing to
Ray.
give up my second this year. I'm willing to give up my second next year.
Would you
I'm
do
not
that
willing
2
to give up my
seconds?
second this year.
Well,
They could have next year's second and the year after that second.
I'd give him this second this year because it's late. It's so late. It's 57.
I can't. It's too.
yeah, that's what I'm
it's too much
saying. Right.
It's too much
That's-
defense. It's too much defense that we need. It's too much. I can't.
I don't
But
think
pop, but pop, at 57, we'll be picking again in the next what?
Yeah,
At 10
man,
picks.
like, it's,
well,
I'm saying something.
yeah,
it's basically a third round pick.
it really is.
Hey,
So
let me
late.
Yeah,
let me-
it's at 57, basically a third round pick.
let me get D's in on this. D's, from what I'm kind of hearing from the conversations, is that it might be cheaper to give up more draft picks to go and get a Garrett Wilson on a rookie contract who does have the speed, who does have the the ability to separate all the stuff, wants to play with Bryce. It kind of seems like maybe that could end up being cheaper for us in the long run. Do you agree with that?
To some extent, I do. I've been kind of sitting back listening to the conversation, really enjoying it because everybody's right in this conversation. Are we going after Tee Higgins? Yes, we are. We're going to be in the conversation. The Panthers are going to kick that can around and see if it's something that we can make it happen. But a lot of the panel has already pointed out other teams like the Browns, the Patriots got crazy cap room. They get a better chance of paying Tee Higgins what he wants, more so than we do. And with the Garrett Wilson discussion, I feel like it kind of falls into the same category. Right. So we're sitting with a late second round pick. We're willing to trade that, sure. But I promise you, there's somebody in the bottom of the first round that would give that pickup to get Garrett Wilson plus something else. That's why, I think maybe we're leaning more towards the first conversation about DK Metcalf. That might be the most.
Yeah, that is the most reasonable. That probably is the
reasonable,
the most,
realistic,
viable.
all those words. Viable,
Yeah.
all those words is what I was looking for. Because maybe we
Yeah.
could get him for a 4th and a 5th or something like that, and then carry that contract so that Seattle can move in a different direction if that's what they're choosing. It just seems like Wilson and Higgins, there's so many other teams with so much more money and so much more trade capital than what we have that it would be unlikely. Would we do it? Yeah, hell yeah, we're going to try. So maybe it works out for us, but I think other teams are going to beat us out on both those two guys.
Damn.
I got another.
I don't want to hear that, man. I don't. I want like one of those.
Tell them these skills. You tell them.
I mean, I don't know, man. That's just. I really do. I'm curious about how aggressive Dan Morgan chooses to be in the wide receiver market. Because
Oh my bad.
No, I'm just saying like. If we know that they're gonna want to upgrade this position, I'm thinking they would want to do it in a big way.
That's
Go
cool.
and get
I
a
like
name
that.
like a Will. Shout out to Diesel Skills providing the dope ass
That's
images for us.
badass.
Yep. But to me, a big name. If you're gonna go and get a wide receiver for Bryce, get a big name, man. It's got to be one of those two dudes or a DK Metcalf. And I would be real. If it's either one of the three, I'm not tripping too hard on it. Like I really
Not
think
at
that
all.
all three of those guys can
That's
be
how
very
I
good.
feel too, Cody. I'm really happy with any of the three.
Yeah. That's
I
what
got
I'm
a question
saying.
for D's. Why are they in the woods?
Because we got to choose a path, and Dan Morgan's got to choose a
Oh,
path.
that is a path. That's true.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
look, there's a road going this way. There's a
And
road.
it looks like Queen City right there. I
Yep,
see
the
that
path
shit.
leads to the
Yeah,
Queen
that's
City.
awesome.
That's right.
Yeah. Find your way to
yeah.
Queen City.
That was smooth. That was a smooth comeback. Like that.
Yeah. I like Tet in there too. See, I'm gonna be real. I know a lot of people like Tet McMillan, and I do too.
I don't.
I
He is good.
I understand why people like him, but I'm not down to spend a top 10 pick on him.
Me neither, Cody. I wouldn't spend a top 10 pick on him. I wouldn't either. I think he's a little overrated, but I've said that a lot.
And I'm not even trying to shit on dude. I'm not taking nothing away from him, but I don't. To me, he doesn't have top 10 pick speed.
Right. That's the thing. I don't think he's not. If you want to Keyshawn Johnson, go back and watch. Like I said on another podcast yesterday, a few days ago. Go back and watch Keyshawn Johnson. That's what Ted is. He's a Keyshawn Johnson. If y'all can remember Keyshawn Johnson coming out of USC, he's big, he's rangy, he can catch it, he can high point it. The same shit that Keyshawn could do, but Keyshawn didn't have no speed, and Tet don't have no speed. I'm gonna tell you that right now. He's not fast.
D'Angelo, will you agree that it's Tee Higgins over Tet? You would prefer T over Tet?
I don't know, but I have to think about that. I might would take Tet over.
Damn it.
I feel like
man.
I see what you're trying to do. You ain't doing that shit.
I would take Tet over T. He a dog. I'm not taking that away from him. I just don't think he got that top end speed. You know what I'm saying? I see some flaws in his game. You know what I'm saying? But only when he catches the ball, I see. I don't think he's real fluid. You know what I'm saying? With the ball in his hand, he's not that fluid. You know what I'm saying? He's a long starter.
D'Angelo, you said you would take Tet over Tee Higgins?
Just because I don't like T. I don't. When it comes to dog, I think. Hold on. You want to know why? You want to know why, Cody? I do see dog in Tet though. Tet got dog in him. I give him that. I don't like a player. That ain't got dog in him, man. You know what I'm saying? I just don't like that. You know what I'm saying? I like players that can play through adversity. If you hurt and you can still play. Shit, it ain't not. T don't do that. That's all I'm telling you. T does not do that, man. T is not playing through an injury.
Man, what NFL Hawaiian have you not seen that ain't been a dog?
That's what I'm
saying. No, you're right about that. But hold on, though. I think that's Samoan.
All his life, he lived on a Samoan.
Bro.
He's Samoan. Yeah.
How many times have I been saying that?
No, you're right.
You're right. All his life, he's been living on a ticking bomb.
Yeah, no, you're right. I apologize to my Samoan brother, man.
Yeah, you better apologize.
Yeah, no, I do, man. We need more Samoans on our team.
Hell yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do. We
got an offensive line coach that I believe is Samoan, right?
I think so. Well, I'm gonna tell y'all, seeing Frankie Louvu in the playoffs, that shit hurt, man. That shit hurt. Louvu should still be a Panther, damn it.
Jeremy Chin too. I don't want to hear just that.
Oh man,
that should have left Jeremy Chin as a linebacker. I'll still argue that till I die, bro. I don't care what.
Let's talk about it.
I agree.
Chin back. He's a free agent this year.
Jake, I don't know why. If
that's a possibility.
My thing is, if Vero likes to use the safeties in the box to play in the run game, and Jeremy Chin was good at that, why the fuck did he kick him off the fucking team?
Did that relationship between them got so bad? That's what I'm saying. Look, you know what? I convinced myself. Well, Cole convinced me. Cole convinced me just a little while ago. I'm almost scared that if we go defensive first round, because is Evero going to actually use him to the best ability, or is he going to ruin his shit? Because that's what I'm starting to think about, because I trust Canales, y'all. I trust Canales to develop a younger, offensive weapon. I don't know if I trust Evero to develop a younger defensive talent. I just don't know, y'all.
Well, Jake, the only thing I can say about that, and it goes back to Canales' exit interview at the end of the season. He said that he was looking at the defensive schemes and he was going to go over what was going to work for the Panthers as according to the personnel that they had. So I really don't think it's going to be a completely Evero job. That's the defense next year. I think Canales is going to take a little bit more of that responsibility come next year with a little bit more alignments and formations and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think Dan Morgan's taking over it.
I will say this, though. If you get a good enough talent, like there's some talent I don't think you can ruin even scheme-wise. So the name that's been getting the most buzz is Mike Green. Yeah.
That's great, but not at 8.
Yeah, I wouldn't take him at 8. He's too small to take him at 8.
But did you know he has the highest pressure rate? And I believe he had like one of the highest sack rates in college ball too.
I like him. If we would have traded back, I wouldn't be opposed to it. But at 8, I ain't taking him at 8.
He had the most. I believe he had the most sacks this previous year, right? He had 17.
What about this? What if we ended up giving that second round pick to, let's say we went and got Wilson, right? Let's just say we gave him a 2 and a 2 this year, a 2 next year. Well, then I definitely want to trade back round 1. I mean, trade back a couple times, pick up multiple picks in later years, and you still have Garrett Wilson. Yeah, I might have just convinced myself.
Oh, shit.
I think I just convinced myself.
Hands down, the best situation in the world, Cody, because you could trade back. You can't tell me that Dan Morgan and Brant Tillis and all them other guys up there couldn't replace the picks that they got, that they spent to get Garrett Wilson.
Give me a Jalen Walker, please.
We solved it, boys. We just figured it out live on the show. Trade for Garrett Wilson. No matter what you trade to get him, trade back in the first round. Get you another D lineman, another safety. Maybe even grab another offensive lineman. Or grab a center if you're feeling froggy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's the move. I'm okay with all the moves, but especially knowing that Wilson wants to play here. Yeah, I'm down with it. It will not make it out. Shut up, AJ. I just figured this shit out live, bro. I figured it out live on air for everyone.
So he'll say his draws to get Garrett Wilson. Dang.
Hey, man, let me welcome in Clay Ropp from the Ropp Star Report. Ropp, what's up, brother? What's up, Clay?
What's up, man? How y'all doing?
Doing good, man. How are you? Long time no see, man.
I know it's just been a busy offseason.
I hear you, brother. I got you, man. Jumping on the convo, man. We're sort of talking about wide receivers and the different options between DK Metcalf in a potential trade, Tee Higgins, paying him the bag to have him be a number 1, or trading for Garrett Wilson, be it a second round pick, either this year or next year. How would you address this situation?
I think it's tough, right? I mean, I think that when you are talking about if you're thinking about trading a guy like for Garrett Wilson, a second round pick, you're thinking about trading a guy for a late end of a second round pick, where we need to be in the situation that we're in with this run defense. So you have to put that in consideration when you're looking at guys going like a Garrett Wilson. I think for me, like, you know, I want to see how this free agency plays out. For me personally, you know, I have some insight on the Senior Bowl due to the fact that I'm with Roundtable Sports, and so Roundtable Sports had some feet on the ground at the Senior Bowl, and they were interviewing a lot of guys. My guy that was there with Roundtable Sports saw Dave Canales interviewing a lot of guys. And he gave me some insight last night, and I posted up that video last night, and he told me who the guys he was talking to. So For us to go after Garrett Wilson or Tee Higgins, I'm not opposed to it as long as the price is right and as long as the deal makes sense. But when we're talking about what we have to do when it comes to being 32nd in the league in run defense, I think that's a bigger issue.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Dude, imagine an off season where we were able to pick up Garrett Wilson and draft Mason Graham in the first round to shore up that defensive line. Like, bro,
That'd
I'm
be a
giving
dream.
myself. I need to stop talking, bro. I'm exciting myself.
Calm down, Cody.
Don't tell me what to do, Jake.
I
How
think
about
this
that?
is an off season that we all should be excited for because there's so many options, right? You have so many variables coming your way. And we're in a good position to make a lot of good moves, right? And so for me personally, from what I heard last night in the Senior Bowl, and I had a full insight from my guys from Roundtable Sports who had feet on the ground. They were telling me that they were interviewing both of the guys from Iowa State, which was I think it's Jay Higgins, and the other guy I cannot remember his name. Out of Iowa State.
What position?
Wide
Let's
receiver.
say-
Wide receiver.
They're both good.
Oh,
Yeah, they're both
I didn't
good.
know if you were talking to the tight end.
Yeah, they were talking to both of the Iowa State guys, Jay Higgins, and then the other one. I can't remember his name very clearly. And then they were also talking to Dave Canales. He said that Dave Canales was also interviewing Jalen Royal out of Utah State. So they've definitely been interviewing guys, but they were also saying that Dave Canales was also interviewing, Nolan Smith or not Nolan Smith. Yeah, Nolan. Is it Nolan Smith out of Ole Miss?
Ole Miss,
Walter
yeah.
That-
Walter Nolan.
Walter Nolan out of Ole, and Walter Nolan out
I
of
like Watson Nolan.
Yep, and
He's
then they
damn
were
near one
also,
of the best run defending defensive tackles in the draft.
That
Yeah.
other Iowa State wide receiver was Jalen Noah, I believe, that you was thinking about.
yes, and so Jalen no, so is it Jalen Higgins and Jalen Nolan?
Yeah, from Iowa State.
They're
Well, it's
both Jalen.
Jalen Nolan and Jaden Higgins.
Okay. So
Okay,
that's
yeah.
that's where I get the confusion from, obviously. But they were also interviewing Shamar Stewart out of Texas A&M, and they also interviewed, of course, Mike Green out of Marshall. So they were interviewing guys on both sides of the ball, from my understanding. Again, at the end of the day, I think if we're looking at this from a standpoint and what Carolina needs to do, there's a lot of people that say, well, we could go get, these wide receivers and Bryce could build the chemistry with some wide receiver that we draft or get a free agent. But why can't we say that he can continue building chemistry with Jalen Coker and Xavier Legette? Like, why can't we say that? So
Yeah.
That's also true.
and so at the same time, when your defense is dead last in the league, which Patrick Mahomes is a perfect person of example that dealt with that before they became in the Super Bowl picture, because Patrick Mahomes for the first 3 years of his career dealt with a terrible defense and Kansas City until they built it up. So why can't we put the same narrative and say, hey, why shouldn't we build this defense up correctly first, when the fact that we were dead last in the run game, and build it up with a guy like Walter Nolan or get a guy like Mike Green at number 8? Again, I just don't understand this whole thing that they think that wide receiver is the biggest issue compared to getting a true nose tackle, getting a linebacker that can fill the gap.
I totally agree.
Or getting
I agree as well.
Or getting an outside linebacker, or getting an edge rusher that can make this secondary look above average.
How do you feel about Jalen Walker?
How do I feel about Jalen Walker?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not opposed to it, but at the same time, I think that another thing that Carolina Panthers fans need to realize is that Mason Graham and Abdul Carter are not the end all be all in this draft class. I think people need to realize that. I think that here's the thing. Trayvon Walker is a perfect example as to why that is. In the 2022 draft class, you know what Trayvon Walker was projected to be as a draft class in the draft? He was projected to be he was projected to be 15 through the 17th round. That's why these NFL combines, these Senior Bowls, these Shrine Bowls are so important to pay attention to before you make a decision.
I agree completely. And by the way, somebody said earlier Mike Green wouldn't be worth it to 8. Mike Green is 6'5" and had 17 sacks last season.
Mike Green is
he had the highest.
Mike Green ain't 6'5", he's 6'3".
He got his height and weight at the Shrine Bowl, I believe, right?
Yeah, he ain't 6'5".
He's 6'3", 200 plus pounds. I know of.
He like 235, 6'3", 235.
You're right.
That sounds like Von Miller, Hassan Reddick size. That sounds like
you know who Mike Green got. You know who Mike Green got compared to, and out of the Senior Bowl.
Who?
Brian Burns.
Oh shit.
So,
never mind. I take back everything I said. I take back. Never mind. I take back everything that I said.
The only reason why I know that is because the only reason why I know that is because I got people on feet on the ground that told me that.
That's good.
I've read that. And that's why I read it. I told him. Yeah, that's why I told him. I said, listen. It's no disrespect to Mike Green at all, or anybody who wants him. I'm just not ready to jump on that bandwagon until I know more.
I mean, he's no different than a James Pierce Jr. out of Tennessee. That's literally he is no different.
I'm a Tennessee fan, and I don't.
I know it's coming.
so Clay, let me tell you the guy that I like. Pickle likes him as well. I'm going to keep preaching this guy. I'm gonna keep telling everybody about him, and I actually know that the Carolina Panthers talked to him as well. Donovan Ezeraku from Boston College.
Yeah, they actually, it's funny, Pop, you say that because they interviewed him. I
know.
By the way,
it is ridiculous.
Mike Green is 6'4", 251 pounds.
Yeah. So I mean,
that's Tankathon.
That's Tankathon. That's not
that ain't what he got. He didn't get better like that.
Bro, that's what it says on Google.
I know, but it's wrong.
That's not right, Cody. That's wrong.
Here is what I'm getting at with Mike Green, though, is that the fact of the matter is he's 6'3", 251.
That's right.
He's got great production as a pass rusher. The biggest issue that I have with him is that how is his run defense? It has been questionable. The guy's got good angles. He's got good pass rush moves. You see that he's got impressive athleticism. He's got great twitch movement. But the problem is when you look at these guys like that, you have to understand from what we're looking for from a standpoint. If we're going to continue this 3-4 defense, you really need bull rush motherfuckers. And when you got bull rush guys like a Shamar Stewart or you got a Nick Squirton on the outside who are freakish athletes who are 6'5", 280, that's what you need. Because if you're going to continue to run this outside 3-4 defense, you don't need guys like a Brian Burns. It doesn't make sense. Because you really, and honestly, you really need more of a guy like a true nose tackle. You actually need a Walter Nolan, and then you need to get a guy like a linebacker, like I'm a huge fan of Jay Higgins out of Iowa. I think people are sleeping on him. I think Jay Higgins is the perfect size linebacker that you need out of Iowa. I think another guy that a lot of people are sleeping on because
Jay Higgins a little small though, Clay. Jay Higgins a little small. He's
but that motherfucker will.
He's only
punch you right in the
6'1".
damn- That
Don't get me.
motherfucker will
He's
punch you
a
right in the mouth.
terrorist on the field, but he's a little small. I like him.
Lander.
That's how you know I be doing my
What about Johnny Walker?
Johnny Walker's good, but the problem is you need guys that can fill the void in the A gap, and that's the problem. We didn't have guys.
Yeah, we don't have a zero technique. We don't have a true zero technique.
Because here's the thing
Exactly.
with a Walter Nolan. Walter Nolan could be a 3 technique, he could be a 1 technique, or he could be a 5.
Yeah, he's good.
technique.
He's definitely good.
That's
But
the
I don't
thing
think
about-
I don't think Walter Nolan is big enough to be at 0 though. He ain't big enough to be at 0.
Bullshit.
I disagree. I disagree. I think he is big enough. Yeah, I think he is big enough.
Here's the thing: if
You
you're
want your nose tackle at
here's
least
the
to be at
problem.
least 320.
Here's a problem though you don't realize: if he's getting compared to a 1 technique, 5 technique, and a 3 technique, he's a true nose tackle.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And,
I agree.
so you can't compare the size. But again, I think that we need to be patient and watch how this combine works out, because I've been telling people this. Trayvon Walker, again, is a perfect example as what to happen to people that become mid-first round picks and end up becoming blue chip players. And that's what I've been trying to preach on my channel. And I've been told that I'm a fucking idiot. But until is Trayvon Walker a absolute bust? Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, if you compare him to Aiden Hutchinson, I think if they had to do it all over again, they would take Aiden Hutchinson, no Clay.
Yeah, but at the same time, you got to think about it this way: situation matters. I mean, you're going to Jacksonville compared.
You're right.
to Detroit.
Situation
Lions.
does matter. Situation and
But
speed.
if you a star, you will shine in any weather.
Yeah, but not necessarily.
Shout out to
Not
the
necessarily. I mean, you could have said
Shout out.
Davion Clowney should have shined in Houston, but they didn't use him correctly. So
shout
I mean,
out baby and Manny Fresh for that verse.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, so there's plenty of narratives to go around and say, well, these guys could have thrived in these situations.
I
There's
agree.
guys that could have thrived in these different situations, but you could have said that for quarterbacks as well. Like it's a total different ball game from both sides of the ball.
So why is nobody talking about Donovan Ezeraku? I mean, the man got the numbers, the pressures, the sacks, the fumbles.
The reason why they're not, because the reason
nobody's talking about
his last name.
I'll tell you why they're not talking about him is
Boston
because
College.
the reason why they're not talking about him is because he has issues with tackling outside the numbers. He's great on the inside, but on the outside, he's not very good. He's not very good at getting on the outside and as an edge rusher to be able to stop the run. That's the issue. He's a disruptor on the inside. On the outside, he's about as average as best.
Who are we talking about?
He's talking about Boston College's Donovan Ezeraku.
Oh yeah, no.
It's the
Yeah,
same, and that's the same narrative that they're pulling with Mike Green. He's great on the inside, but on the
Yes,
outside,
so that's his weakness. They're going to have their weaknesses. Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, it's
Set
not.
the edge.
Yeah. So I mean, they can set the edge, but they're just not good enough.
But Clay, it don't matter if he don't set the edge anyway. Shit, everyone's going to have him run into the flats. Cover a tight end or a wide receiver.
Straight pass
Yeah,
cover.
but at
That's
the
it.
same time, I think I would still take a Walter Nolan out of both.
Yeah, we also met with the other edge rusher for Ole Miss, I believe. Well,
Yeah,
matter of fact,
Princely.
Brinsley.
Yep.
Princely.
I just don't think he'll fall to our second round, man. At
Well,
50
Princely,
Princely be there.
Well,
He'll be there.
Princely, from what I was told from the guys out of the Senior Bowl that had boots on the ground, they were telling me that he's projected to go first round at this point. They're saying that San Francisco might take him.
But Clay, I will say though, whenever you hear this far out, that there are teams that are going to take this guy or this guy, it's all kind of.
Yeah, you got to take it with a grain of salt, but you also got to take it as something to think about because things can change. The combine can change a lot of things. Like that's what I'm saying. Like take what I'm telling you guys from the Senior Bowl, because I got guys on the ground because of me being a part of Roundtable Sports and then being on the ground and telling me stuff. And I posted a full live stream about it, video on it. But, I wanted to come to tell you guys just because, and I've been trying to tell everybody, all podcasters, just, take it with a grain of salt, but at the same time, don't be surprised if some things shift. And that's why I always go back to the Trayvon Walker ordeal. Like, this guy.
Who's your guys, Clay? Who you fanning out on? I want to hear a couple guys you really love. I know you got a few of them.
I like that question.
But Claire, let me add the caveat.
Yeah.
At number 8, who is worthy of?
If I have to pick at number 8, who's my guy?
Yeah, or just some names that are worthy to be picked there, because we know some of the main ones, right? A Mason Graham.
Well, okay. How about this? Is Mason Graham or Abdul Caller? Let me ask you a question with a question. I mean, is Mason Graham and Abdul Caller falling to me at number 8?
I mean,
probably not.
No, probably not.
To be honest with you.
Okay.
You want to do a mock or like a one-round mock?
Let's do it.
Count anybody in that top.
I mean, I'm down to do a mock.
What website?
I did a great mock the other night. I got a lot.
Give a chance, Clay. Give a chance.
Yeah, see, that's why I didn't ask Clay that, because I knew the Mason Graham and Abdul Carter is going to be the first thing that everybody runs to.
No,
so that's what I want to see.
I mean, Pop, he's not like.
I'm talking about in the Carolina Panther world. Everybody is
like
Abdul Carter and Mason Graham. So that's
Yeah,
what I'm trying to hear.
In Panther land, Abdul Carter is the best thing since sliced bread. So.
Right.
Are they wrong?
Well, I don't think they're wrong.
That's why I'm trying to hear who your other guys you like.
I think the problem is that in Carolina Panthers land, they think if Mason Graham, the point that I'm getting at is this, and this is my main point, and it's been proven now just through the Senior Bowl, is that you can't just suspect that Mason Graham and Abdul Carter are the only blue chip players you're going to be able to get.
Facts.
That's my point. And I've been preaching that on
either one of them fall to you at 8, I think you have to pull the trigger.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you're not going to sit
Absolutely.
there and you're not going to sit there and play with your burrito and just say, "Nah, I'm not going to go for that."
I really thought you were going to say something else, but burrito, we'll take that.
Shit.
Same with Will Johnson.
Burrito, dude.
If the corner falls, I'm going to go after him too.
I wouldn't take Will Johnson at 8.
I wouldn't either. I agree with you, Clay. I wouldn't take Will Johnson either.
I
Will at 8.
I don't know about Will's speed. I gotta see if he. I gotta see
Will
what he runs in the
best corner in the draft.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't think he's a better corner than Travis Hunter. Me personally, I don't.
Oh my
You don't
God!
want to
Are
run
you serious? Are you wait a minute? Are you serious right now?
I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm gonna tell you this right now. The best corner in this draft class is the boy out of Iowa State. His name is what's his fucking name? Jesus Christ! I'm having a heart attack.
Too many names. Too many names.
I know it's so. I think Darian Porter out of Iowa State is going to be the best corner in this draft class. You're talking about a guy.
I like Darian Porter. Yeah, I do like Darian Porter.
I think when you talk about a corner who's 6 foot, you're talking about a corner who is a physical presence on the perimeter. When you're talking about a guy who's 6'4", 200 pounds, who fits the mold of the long what Evero likes, and you're talking about a guy who can play man press.
I don't care what Evero like.
Yeah, but you're talking about a guy that looks like Richard Sherman prototype. That's what Darian Porter is.
Y'all want
what about Kenneth?
I like your boy. I like your boy out of ECU too. I like the corner out of ECU too.
Right here in my city, baby. Let's go. He's raw.
Mac McWilliams is who you're talking about.
I got robbed. I was gonna watch him all season this year, and he got hurt, bro. It sucks.
Who we talking about?
Vaughn's dealing with some injury problems.
Oh, man, we can't talk about that. Nah, I'm staying away from anybody that has an ACL injury. I don't want to even talk about an ACL injury player.
Yeah.
If Mason Graham and Abdul Carter's there, would you take Kenneth Grant at 8?
Somebody feed that cat, please.
Yeah, somebody got a cat going crazy.
I got Bryce in a headlock. Don't worry about him.
I would not take
Hey y'all, so look, I did so this is on mock draft database. I did a mock. We're on the clock at 8.
Adol Carter.
These are some of the names. These are some of the names.
There's no way this falls though. Like,
yeah, I know. I mean, again, I just did like a random one. I also
But you gotta go Adol Carter.
Free for all. But I mean, let's just say it ended up like this.
How about you move it up like to number 10 where Michael Williams is, and we say
Well, but hold on, but okay, do y'all want to trade back?
I
We
am
do
not.
no, we
I'm
did
not
have an
trading for
offer.
Michael Williams.
We did have an offer from.
Yeah, I'm not. You're right, Pop.
No, I'm not saying go after Michael Williams. I'm just saying like there's no way that Abdul Carter makes it falls there.
I'm not taking my kill at 8. I know that.
Hell no, I'm not taking my kill at 8.
I've seen so many mocks with my kill go to us.
I think Cincinnati might be calling Carolina to get Ashton Genty because they were 30th in rushing yards last year, but they led the league in passing yards. So I wouldn't be surprised if Cincinnati calls Carolina at number 8.
Where they
Would y'all move down a couple of spots with Miami?
Yeah, I would.
I won't answer because you already know what the fuck I'm gonna say.
Yeah, move back, take Starks.
yeah. I'll move back at 13. Sure.
I wouldn't be mad at Malachi. I like Malachi. I really like Malachi.
I don't want him at the first at number 1. I don't.
I'll tell you.
No. We trade back. I wouldn't be mad at Malachi.
I'll tell you this. Apparently, Dave Canales was also talking with Sebastian Castro out of Iowa, the safety.
Hell yeah.
So just giving y'all a heads up on that one as well.
So I traded back. We'll probably have to redo it. This is not the greatest board, but they have.
I actually like. So what I do is I go on PFF, Cody, and then what I'll do is I move the public up like 2 spots, and then I move like the regular shit like one stop back.
Yeah.
It can be
I'm taking Kenneth Grant here. If it's me, I'm taking Kenneth Grant.
I'm taking Malachi.
Boy, Mecca Ibuka, damn. See, there are some players you don't even consider just because we're in the top 10.
It's too many safeties in here for me to reach for safety right now.
I might be okay with Ibuka.
Hey, Cody, go up real quick.
Good one. I'll take the best one.
Yeah.
They get some good safeties pop, but ain't none of them on Malachi. Malachi could go play corner if he wanted to. Malachi can do it all.
You talking about your question? Let me ask you a question. You play defense. You play. I get it, guys. But Angelo, you play.
Hey, how tall is Will Johnson? Hey, how tall is Will Johnson as a corner?
6'2".
How fast is he?
He's not. I don't think.
He runs a 4.5.
He's 4. That's what I'm saying. 4.5.
Yeah,
he's not that fast, man. I need my corners to be 4.4 better. I need you to be 4.4 better.
My God. Hey,
I need you to be 4.4 better.
Well, but they haven't run the 40
Dante
yet.
Jackson, who got burnt, and he ran like a 4.4 flat.
Yeah, that's the truth.
You're right.
That's the truth.
You're right. I mean, I'll get beat, but I still need you to run a 4.4 better.
Also, didn't Richard Sherman run like a 4.6 or something?
Yeah,
he ran a 4.40. Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So it's not a necessity. It's all about the technique more than anything.
It is. I will agree. But if I'm taking you, if I'm taking you that high, you better be 4.4 better. If I'm taking you,
I agree. I generally agree with that. I like my.
This is my question, y'all. If we take a safety right here. So we go from 3,000 yards being ran on you from 2,991.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
Well, hey, Pop, it's crazy. The second to last, we were 30 yards short of more than them, by the way, just so you know.
All right, look, I'm going to draft Malachi, but we're going to do it again. This is only one round.
All right.
This shit's going to fall like a motherfucker.
Yeah, like this board is pretty terrible.
Last time
and by the way, I'm open to suggestions if y'all wanted to use a different board. I might even still have.
Let's do a couple.
I might even still have Kevin's PFF login. Let me see.
I
if
got
can
mine.
find-
Hey, Cody, I can share mine. I got mine.
Oh well, yeah. If you wanna, yeah, shit, I'll
Hey,
let you run.
Pickle, you still in here?
You want to share it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll share it. I got.
I'm
Yeah, I'm
telling
in
you,
here.
man.
Alright.
I'm not coming off of. Look,
All right.
at number 8, man, Jalen Walker, man, that's still my
I paid
guy.
that monthly subscription.
I know
I
it,
like
man.
Jalen Walker.
You're
I like
cool.
Jalen Walker.
I like Jalen Walker
Last-
quite a bit.
Last time I was here on C3, we left out of here with 800 damn picks and 12 safeties.
Yeah, we did.
You said 12 safeties?
Yeah, we
Holy
did.
shit.
We did.
Yo, we got a defensive backfield, boys. We did our job.
Yeah.
But no, look, like
We
I'm
weren't
of
stopping
the-
the run at all.
Yeah, like I'm of the mindset I want to build the interior of the defensive line, man. So I know that right now it's easy to say Mason Graham, but seeing what he has done before, he is the guy that I'm looking at right now. But I'm also not, I haven't looked at everyone yet. Like most of the
Walker
names
Nolan's
y'all have
nice.
looked at, I don't start looking at college players until after the Super Bowl. Then I'm like, all right, the season's over. I'm gonna really delve into the film and see.
Well, based off, so I'm gonna give y'all my guys' breakdown on most of these guys based off of what my understanding is from people being feet on the ground. So I'll give y'all some good insight if you want.
Yeah,
Go
man.
ahead.
Give me
So
a
you
second.
want
I
to
like that safety
you
right
want-
there, Josh, from South Carolina. Oh my God.
you want to start this up?
Yeah, I'll start it up. I got you.
Yep.
I got you. Give me 1 second here.
Well,
Yeah,
Cody, I can't wait till you get to Kenneth Grant. Cause Kenneth Grant, my
Okay.
God.
Now, what position is Kenneth?
Well,
He can play
Pop,
nose
I'm,
tackle.
Interior defensive
Oh,
line.
what's that? All right.
Pop, I'm running it
Okay.
right now, so we'll get it though.
I'm looking forward to the Senior Bowl.
But,
Well, that's tomorrow at noon, I
Yep.
think. Right?
and
I think
Cole,
it's-
you a
I think it's
Gamecock fan,
2:30.
right?
I think it's
No, he's a
2:30.
fucking
2:30.
Clemson fuck, so it's all good.
Yeah, I
Hey,
think
hey,
it's
hey,
2:30.
hey.
Cole's a Clemson fan. Who's a Gamecock fan here? Somebody's a Gamecock fan.
Man.
Kevin ain't. Oh, you.
Oh, did you say, Pop? Did you say Cole's a Clemson fan? Boy,
I
know.
forgot.
I know.
forgot.
I know he.
No,
ain't a Gamecock.
He
listen,
wishes
when-
he was.
no, how about
Wish
this?
he
Whenever,
Cole is not
whenever-
a Clemson fan, and Jake, you can go to hell.
whenever Clemson
That
Hey,
safety
safety
from
carrying the
Nebraska
flag,
is a
fuck
beast.
NC
I
State.
got to get him.
whenever
Hey,
Count to
Clemson
five,
Your
bitch. You
safety-
ain't
is
seen that nothing
representing
on
the
us.
ACC, then Cole is
Just pull up.
Clemson fan.
Just pull up the rooster
Clay.
taking his shit on the field. That's all I gotta see.
Play. That safety y'all got is a beast.
Oh,
he's
Nick,
a
I'm not
monster.
worried.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's who I want.
they got a good linebacker too, and a
He's a
defensive
stud.
tackle.
But
They-
also a
Yeah.
guy that's gonna go off in the first round, I'll tell you this, is Demetrius Knight. He's a fucking stud.
He's linebacker, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, you wanna roll this one up or start this one up?
I'm doing it right now.
All right.
Cody, where your mind at? Talking about roll something up.
Shit, you already
Listen
know
to
where my
him.
mind's at. Match me. What's
He's
up?
trying to get this show over with right quick.
Match me. What's up?
Driving me
Pop?
home.
So
Driving
we
me home. I'll drive it, but you driving me home.
we're
I
sitting
mean, come on,
here-
match.
So we're sitting here, of course, like I said,
The
Mason
pop,
Graham-
the pop just say you driving him home, Cody.
Hey, hop on the back, bro. Yeah, I got you, dog.
So obviously, so Mason Graham's off the board.
So this is probably more how the real. This is more how the real board.
This is worst case scenario.
Let's offer a trade to Cincinnati since he.
Wait, hold on, wait. Damn, can you enlarge it a little bit, or is that kind
I
of
can
hard to
see
see? But who?
There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
that's
perfect.
nice right there.
Yeah, it's
that's
perfect.
Good.
So okay, Graham went. Malachi Starks went. Yeah, that's kind of worst case scenario.
Break the internet and go Genty.
Nah.
Ooh, let me tell you what, bro.
Oh no, let's not go running.
Let me
No,
tell you what,
No,
bro.
no,
Calm down, Cody.
no,
down.
no. We go running back. I might
Hey, I
might have
just
to pull out
got a
the
Hubbard jersey.
Commander
I
jersey.
did that one too.
You know what? I would go James Pierce Jr. before I go Genty.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yep.
Why you keep
Clay,
Pickle,
what
stop
trade
doing-
options do you have?
stop doing James Pierce Jr. like that? He ain't that bad.
Yeah, James.
No, he
Pierce
likes
Jr.
him. He likes him, but he just sees Brian Burns when he looks.
That's
at
all I
him.
see. When I see him, that's all I see is Brian Burns, man.
Mhm.
And hey,
But-
as
Brian
a
Burns
Tennessee
not bad
fan, I hope
though
I'm
either.
wrong. I really do.
Well,
Brian
when
Burns
you
not
see
bad.
James Pierce, you don't see 32 million, so don't worry about it.
Wait, hold on. Time out. What trade options do we have, Clay? Atlanta. Fuck.
Oh my
that.
God.
Is that the only one? What other teams do we have that's trying
Can we
to trade?
offer a trade to Cincinnati?
Yeah, who's behind us? Clay, you there? I feel like Clay is like fucking with us.
I mean, he's a
Maybe when
Gamecock
he's
fan.
sharing the screen, he can't hear. I don't know.
I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm right
There he
here.
is. There he is.
What other who can we trade back with?
Well, here's what I'm thinking though. Even though these guys are interested, this is what I was going to try to move. I was going to try to go back with Cincinnati at 17, and I was going to see if I could go 17, 49, and 81 for 8.
That's kind of rich, though, huh?
That's actually, I know it sounds crazy from this standpoint, but it's actually a realistic trade.
All right, offer it. Offer it, and if they don't do, offer it. See what they do.
Yeah, they'll do that. Yeah, I'm about to say.
Yeah,
I knew
okay,
they would
cool.
do that.
It's a real.
So-
I think it's a realistic trade when you're going.
Yeah, from
a
8 to
first,
17.
second.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they're probably going. I mean, I won't be surprised if they go Ashton Genty. Now in PFF, it's weird. They might end up going T-Mac T-Mac's gone. So they'll probably either they're going to go Luther Burden or they're going to take the guard out of Texas is what my mindset's going to think.
Now, if we did this in real life, we're one.
I don't think Gentry getting past Dallas. I don't think Gentry's getting past Dallas.
That's why he's saying Cincinnati's
Ah,
going to
Mike Green left.
Oh,
Damn,
okay.
If this is what I'm picking between, I'm probably picking Pop. You said your guy's Kenneth Grant, right? That's the defensive.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm anybody, I'm going with Kenneth Grant because he's a guy that can play nose tackle.
He can play the zero. You're right. He can play
That
the zero.
frees up Derek Brown to be.
If I can just throw this in there, just to kind of solidify and kind of back up the numbers. This is a valuation chart for trades. And Clay, your trade, we're valued at $1,400 for pick 8, and your trade for 17 was $950, 49 was $410, and 81 was $185. So it actually is a very logistic, very real trade option.
Right. I know what I'm talking about. I don't
Hell
say
yeah.
it just to say
Hey,
it.
I'm just backing you up.
Man,
Nice,
hell yeah.
nice.
Good shit, Cal.
So right here,
like a U-Haul truck.
I'm probably. Yeah, I mean, I'm drafting Kenneth Grant right here, unless someone
The thing is about him that I like is because not only is he fucking huge and he's 6'3", but he runs a 4.9 at the size he is. So when you look at him and you go look at his first look, you're talking about a guy that's 6'3" and is 340 pounds and runs a 4.9 40.
Yeah, that's absurd.
Yeah.
It's a grown man, baby.
So I'm gonna go ahead. We'll go ahead. Everybody agree with Kenneth Grant?
Yeah, I'm down for that.
I'm good with that. As
Yeah.
long as it ain't Michael Williams, I'm good.
Right.
It's the right pick, but I wanted to
I
point out
feel the
that-
same way about Michael Williams. I am not high on Michael at all.
Look, I'll be honest with y'all, and this might be too wild to say, but if I've ever, I've done so much research this offseason when it comes to, these draft picks and stuff, Michael looked like a bust to me, y'all. And I might be wrong, but he looks like a legit bust to me.
Man, he right. He has to look. He looks the part, but when you look at his play, he don't produce.
Yeah.
He don't produce.
Man,
me and
D'Angelo agree with you, bro. Me and D'Angelo agree.
We're drafting Cam. We're drafting Cam Scatterbo, right?
Oh, the fuck!
Come on, man.
What the hell?
Come on, man. Scatterbo, baby.
About what? The second?
You know what we're
No,
taking?
hell
Scatterbo,
second.
baby.
Not a second, no. We get him later.
Not in the second. That's
Hey, it's
no.
bow time, baby. Come on now.
Hey, he's
no,
good.
no,
He is good.
right here.
And would draft
no,
Bernard.
He ain't second round good. I'm sorry. He ain't
Who is
second round.
Yeah, he not.
Oh, no,
he not.
I'm talking about
No,
Kyle.
Yeah,
I'm talking about
he not.
yeah, I'm talking, I'm not talking about
Cal Kennard has been having a good camp.
Y'all are
Yes, he
telling
has.
me. Y'all are telling
Hey,
me.
y'all about to quit disrespecting my
Lamar.
man, Cam Scatterbo, dog.
You're
No,
telling
I
me
like-
that you don't believe in Cal Kennard?
No, I like Kyle Kennard's good. He's
Yeah, I'd
legit.
pick Kennard right there. It's a good
I
pick.
would too.
You're talking about a guy that's 6'5".
Who's BPA?
Huh?
Clay, who else is on the
Kyle,
who else is available?
he's up
Clay?
there.
I mean, if you're talking about edge rusher or linebacker at this point,
No, I'm talking about BPA.
Yeah, all
the best
yeah,
player on the board.
Yeah, exit out.
you want to
Cam-
go.
Hey, who's the? I have a question.
I'm
Who's
still
the-
going to Kyle.
Who is the next
say
best
Higgins.
center available? Who's the best center available?
Yeah, I would love to get
No, you
Kyle
can get him
right
later.
there.
No, you can get him later. The best center
He's
is the
gonna
guy
be
from
available in
USC.
the 5th round, and his name is
Right there,
It ain't-
Jonah.
Garrett
Jonah.
Wilson. Is that
It-
right
it-
here? Jonah
Yeah.
Monaheim is the best center.
Yeah,
in
he's
this
the best
draft
center.
class.
Best center in the
Absolutely.
draft.
I
It
agree.
ain't no use to draft the center in this draft. I
No.
don't think.
Yeah,
It's really
No,
not.
Jonah. No.
I
If
mean,
we get Jonah later, no, that's an absolute.
Late.
No, that's
No,
a great
Jonah
pick.
Monaheim's a great pick in the 5th
Yeah,
round.
absolutely.
Yeah, now, to be honest, if you're getting him in the late 5th or after, that'd be all right because it's depth. But I'm just saying, I know folks get this thing. Well, we got to draft the center. We got to draft the center. There's a lot of set. We don't. No, we don't. Not in this draft. We don't.
It's all about Jeff Monaheim at 142. It's all about Jeff Monaheim or at Monaheim at 142, I think, or no, 146 or 140. You get him there. And that's where you pick him at.
112
who-
wouldn't even be bad.
Who are we picking? Who are we picking right here?
Where you got to take Kyle
Kennard.
Kennard because I mean, here's the thing, like
Production.
if you're looking for a guy that's going to give you the edge that you're looking for, especially in a 3-4 defense. I mean, I'm not being a homer on this. I'm being completely honest about this because his versatility as an edge defender is comfortable working. That's going to put his hand in the dirt across the multiple fronts. That's the reason why he won multiple awards and being in the SEC. That's why Clemson lost because of a Kyle Kennard.
But there's also something you're
Oh.
not. There's also something you're not thinking about here.
Oh
Clay.
yeah, I'm sorry. You know who I'm not thinking about, Cody, is Lenore Sellers when he put his dick in the end zone.
Oh, you
Oh,
son of a bitch! I didn't know
Yes.
that.
Pull
We
up the clip.
We already have too many fuck-ass Gamecocks on this goddamn team, bro.
They had a rooster
we don't
taking
need
shit
no
on your
more.
field, Cody.
We don't need no more damn Gamecocks. All we do is lose. It's almost like those two things are related to one another. Us losing and the amount of Gamecocks
But
players.
the
that
last
we
time I
have.
checked, Cody, a cock fucks a
Sorry,
pussy. So
Cody.
that's all I know.
Oh my god!
No, he did.
All I'm saying is a tiger is chicken for dinner, dog. That's all. I'm saying.
Yeah. Well,
You know what I'm saying?
they ate a lot of cock on that day. So
Yeah. Hey, who was taking cock in the playoffs, huh? Oh, that's right. Y'all weren't in the playoffs, so yeah, y'all didn't make it to the playoffs. That's wild, though, ain't it?
It's just fun and
This is
games.
getting
At the end
weird.
of the day. It's just fun and games.
Hey,
y'all
hey,
think-
I want to
hey,
throw
y'all-
this. I want to throw this out there. Let me talk. I want to throw this out there.
Go
When
ahead,
we're
Jimmy.
picking these edges, and a lot of people may not like this, but I'm going to throw it out there any damn way. When we pick these talent, we've got to pick somebody who fits in this defense as well as another defense.
True.
Because there's no guarantee that Ejiro Evero makes it after this season. So just throwing that out there. And that the guy you were talking about, Kyle Kennard, I believe he can play in multiple defenses front.
He can.
So that's what I'm looking at. Some of these other guys, if they're not lined up in a linebacker in a 3-4, they're useless.
That's
They're
why
flat
I
out
said
useless.
that he's a positional versatile edge defender because he's comfortable upright or he's down and dirty. So it's
Right.
What?
Even if Evero ain't here next year, I still don't see us going to get a 3-4 defensive coordinator. We still would replace him with a 3-4 D coordinator that could still utilize the
I would-
pieces that we have.
I would hope
Yeah,
they would
but-
switch
and
to
this
a
one-
4-3.
the
I would
reason,
say, yeah,
the
go ahead.
reason why I say Kyle Kennard, though, and I'm not being a homer on this, I swear to God, but the reason why I'm saying this is he's best deployed as a guy who is a stand-up rusher and that can be aggressive in a 3-4 front because that allows him to be a guy that can pin his ears back and hunt the quarterback. That is what his toolkit as a pass rusher is known for. That's why he was so good at South Carolina.
How many sacks did he have last year, Clay?
He had
10.
He had actually
10.
10 and a half.
Yeah, 10 and a half.
Yeah. All right, I'm down for it. All jokes
You know what
aside,
that's called, y'all? That's called production.
if we're gonna invest on D line, go D line back to back. I'm not mad at it, but it's still fuck the chickens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get it. I get
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
It, you know,
Hey,
And we,
hey,
and we still have way too many of them, and we need to draft.
Hey, D's, you okay with that pick too?
Yeah, dude, talk to me, man.
yeah,
Are
but
you
also
okay with?
at the same time, guys, you got to think about it this way. We made that trade. We were able to get a Kyle Kennard at 49, and you still have the 58 pick.
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah. That's why the trade back was a pretty good pick.
So now we kind of can go if you want to go. Like, I think you could have some leeway here now. If you wanted to go like a wide receiver, or if you wanted to go a tight end, or if you wanted to go a running back, for example, you could. Now, again, that's an example A, but at the same time, I think now that you're looking at it, you've got corner, you've also got guys.
Still need safety.
You
Still
can
need
go
safety.
linebacker, yeah. You can go safety. You could go sit here and you could go get Sebastian Castro. You could go get Kevin Winston out of Penn State.
Right
Now,
out Castro.
Here's the thing about Nick Montewardi, and even though like Pop and I were like bragging about this guy, I honestly think Nick, and I'm not being a homer. I've seen this guy play, and I've seen him compared to Malachi Starks. There is a lot of prospects out there that are saying, or draft insiders that are saying that this guy is actually the better prospect than Malachi Starks. I'm just going to let you know that now.
All right, we already took a Gamecock. We can't take another one.
I'm not going to take it.
I can't
What's the
stomach
best
it.
player available?
I can't stomach it. The one is already.
Wait.
Pickle is your guy.
We took a game.
Stomach it.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on. Who's the best player? Who's the best player who's available right now?
Sampson's good.
Dylan Sampson.
I like Dylan Sampson myself personally.
Hold on. What corners are available?
But I am biased.
I would take Chris Paul right there.
I would not take Zy Alexander there, and I'm an LSU fan.
Zy Alexander is the best.
Yeah, I would not take him there.
Why not, Jake?
I like. Yeah, he's a zone corner mainly. And if we ever switch, he's not gonna be.
I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. If we're looking for a guy that's gonna be a run stuffer and it's gonna help us, I mean, if we want to go safety, I go Sebastian Castro. But again, it wouldn't hurt to have Kenneth
Alfred Collins
and Alfred Collins.
Now, let's remember what Dan Morgan said. He was not afraid to double dip.
Yep.
Hey, I'm fine with that right there.
I'm talking about 6'5".
You're talking about a behemoth. A behemoth.
But I also think that we need to upgrade safety at least once.
Well,
And
I mean,
think
I'm not opposed to picking Sebastian Castro here, who can be a good run stuffer. But the problem is with Sebastian Castro, his coverage skills have to be redefined.
Y'all don't like Xavier Watts?
He just got picked before us.
Oh,
yeah.
He literally got picked right before
Hell yeah, I like him. That's my second. I think that's the second best safety in the draft.
I agree with that.
These are skills. Would you go with safety or would you double dip at defensive line?
Yeah, if the Panthers can get Collins in the second round, you fucking pick him. You do not skip over Alfred Collins in the second round if you're the Carolina Panthers. There's no way you pass over. I don't give a fuck what happened before in the first round. I don't care what happened if you traded back and you picked up extra. You take Alfred Collins.
If he's like that, if D's likes him enough like that, then I'm down with it.
I'm always down for an Alfred. I'm always down for an Alfred Collins for sure.
Yeah, I'm doing.
Yeah, let's get Alfred.
Job Collins.
I tell you one thing. We showed up that run defense. You double down.
Yeah, right.
Here's the thing: you got to think about it with that. You got Derek Brown, Ashawn, and now you have Alfred Collins and Kenneth Grant holding up that line.
Yeah,
and after this season. Ashawn hit free agency, so you've got good depth until then.
Hey,
you've got depth to build on.
Hey, You want to draft Jalen Milrow?
So now that we've gone that route,
Yeah.
Hell no. Fuck.
so
Yeah,
like,
let's
Hell
go.
no. I don't even want Milrow.
Hey, no,
Fuck no. I don't even want Milrow.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
Safety.
I don't even want Milrow as an undrafted free agent.
Ransom.
Oh,
Can
hell.
Give me Ransom.
Can I just tell you what I heard about Jalen Milrow with boots on the ground?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you right now. It don't look good.
He got baby hands. He can't throw it down. He got the smallest hands.
Lathan Ransom right there, safety.
Now, all I'm gonna say is this.
Hands are tiny.
All I'm gonna say is this, and he's not lying. Jalen Milrow has the smallest hands. They've ever seen.
Ever.
More than Kenny Pickett?
Yeah.
Yes.
Smallest ever.
It's
Smallest hands ever.
He's got Gerber baby hands.
Yeah, he got the teeny hands.
It's bad.
Damn.
It's bad.
Yeah, they say he having. They saying he having trouble gripping the NFL ball, man. He can't even.
Damn.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad with Jalen Milrow.
I think we go safety here, though. I think we get Lathan Ransom right here from Ohio State.
Yeah.
Hey, Cody, I gotta get. You know what I need to pull up is my soundboard for you guys. I need to pull up my soundboard, yeah, so we can do the NFL draft. Little.
Oh yeah.
Let me find it real quick. I gotta pull it up though. I'm gonna pull it up here.
I don't know too much.
According to Mike Garardi, Jalen Milrow's hands are only 8 3/4.
Yeah,
his hands are small.
That's average, right?
I don't know.
So for a regular human being, it's average, but for an NFL quarterback, it's
no.
My man got that tiny hands. Though.
Kenny Pickett's hands were 8.5.
Hey Cody, here it is.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah.
There we go. Now it's official. Now we can draft another Alabama quarterback.
No.
Hell no.
No. Who y'all want to draft here? What's the best?
Lathan Ransom.
Tez Johnson. Tez Johnson is on the board.
I love Tez Johnson. I would love Tez. I love Tez.
Tez Johnson is our pick.
So I'll tell you this from the Senior Bowl from my guys. They told me that Tez Johnson looked like the best wide receiver on the field. That he was unguardable.
You couldn't cover him. Couldn't cover him.
I've read that myself.
He is Tank Dale 2.0. Give me Tez Johnson. We missed out on Tank. But we get Tez.
Before we do, time out. Before we do,
hold on. Before we do that, because right now we're at 74. Our next pick is at 81. So we're only 7 picks away from our next pick.
Where's the center? Where's the USC center?
Try to go.
I'm thinking you get Ransom and then try and get Tez Johnson at your next
I do
pick.
like that safety. The safety out of Ohio State, Ransom, like he has to be my go-to pick. I don't know too much about that Arizona tackle right there that's up there, but if I think we go Lathan Ransom. Yep.
Now, what about that center? Where is that center going to be drafted? Is he still there?
Later.
He'll be fifth.
Later.
Okay. So then, right here, I would go either Tez Johnson or the safety from.
I'm going.
How about this? Let's all agree to go with Lathan here, and then let's see if Tez falls at 81.
Yeah, be fine.
I don't think he will be, but we'll see.
I hope he does.
I don't think he will be, but I've been wrong before. It's just
but I'll take the consolation prize and get Jimmy Horn.
Let's go. That's the
Tez
pick.
Johnson, baby. Hell yeah, dog.
So far, this draft has been fucking.
No, this is a sick draft right here.
Stacked.
Okay, so we're gonna be at 109 next.
It should mean that we're like middle of the pack in run defense next year. That's what I think.
Let's go. So what's our center's name? The
Jonah. Jonah Monheim.
Jonah Monahan, but it'll be like 146. You'll still be able to get him there.
Okay. Let's see. What's this?
Go Billy Bowman. We need 2 safeties. Shit. Double dip.
Hey,
How many edge rushers we got in this draft?
I'm gonna be real. I just don't. Not once we get to this part of the draft,
I think we have 1 edge and 2 inside.
We need linebackers as well, guys.
Yeah, we do need linebacker. We do need
Hey,
linebacker.
hold on. Who's that? The edge rusher, that Powell guy.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
Barrett
From
Carter.
Virginia.
Barrett Carter.
Go back linebacker.
You talking
Barrett
about
Carter's
Ridland?
real good. Barrett Carter's good.
Yeah, he's good.
Oh yeah.
The problem I have with Barrett Carter is he's undersized and his coverage skills are very questionable.
And he went to
But he is a
Yeah, I take
downhill.
Jack.
I knew that was coming. But he is a downhill.
To Clem.
But listen, as someone who watches him, he's great. He's great in run defense, which is what the Panthers really need right now too.
The problem is he couldn't do nothing against the Gamecocks. I just don't understand.
See, I really don't like not having control in these moments. Like this. You know what I'm saying?
All right, who's the best linebacker? Who's the best linebacker that we're looking at?
Barrett Carter.
That's not a bad name. Oh, Jay Higgins. Oh, yeah, that's not
Hey,
a bad
what about that linebacker from UCLA? Is he already gone?
He's gone. He's a second round pick, bro.
Oh, okay.
A linebacker named Cody. You know he has to be a badass, right?
Shit.
Who's that?
That Jacob Parrish, by the way, from Kansas.
My vote is either Barrett Carter or the edge rusher from Virginia.
I wouldn't be opposed to
Powell.
another edge rusher like Tyler Barron out of Miami, a guy who had 10 sacks on the year.
What's
his height? Yeah, is he an edge or outside linebacker?
You're talking about 6'5".
Oh yeah, pick that. Oh
yeah,
my
I'm
goodness.
down. Tyler
Go ahead
Barron.
with that.
Yeah, we can
Go
do
ahead with
that.
that.
Good pick.
Wait. Before we do, let me see the stats on the Antoine guy.
You got to remember, we traded back, so we had the 109 pick coming in.
Ridland's good.
But who is
Antoine Powell, Ridland, he's good.
Who's the Antoine? Click on the Antoine Powell real quick.
The only reason why he stayed another year, but he's not as good as everybody thinks he is. I think he's Amari Barno 2.0.
Oh my god,
bro! He had 14 sacks.
Yeah, well, Amari Barno had like 10 to 12 each and every year, and he still fucking sucked.
I don't know, man. This dude, what's his height? Wait.
Oh, he's got the measurables. He's decent.
Clay. Amari Barno never had a lot of sacks in Virginia Tech. You heard me, Clay? Amari Barno never had a lot of sacks.
I have to look that up. I'm pretty sure he did.
He did. He just ran that 4.3. He just ran that 4.3 in the combine.
I'm down with either of the edges. I'm down with either Antoine.
I'm fine either. Yeah, I'm good with either one.
Or
I like Tyler Barron for the 3-4.
But y'all know we need linebacker, right? Like you only got Josie Jewell.
Yeah, that's a point.
The problem is, Pop. Like I was saying, though, listen. I'm not opposed to Barrett Carter. The problem is his size is a problem for me. When you're talking about a linebacker,
what about Jack Kaiser?
I mean, that's the size of Patrick Quinn. That's the size of Patrick Quinn.
Kaiser's nice. I mean, he's a bigger size linebacker for sure.
But you hear what I'm saying? But it's only 1 inch. Jack Kaiser's 6'2".
Cody, every inch matters. Okay, man.
Oh, dude, well, you would know that as Gamecocks fans. You know, I know that. But Barrett Carter. I mean, the dude is flying around, stopping the run, but also remember if you draft Barrett Carter, you're not asking him to.
I'm not opposed to it, by the way.
Like, you're not asking him.
I'm tired of getting his heart broken.
It's just
him getting his heart broken. Go Barrett Carter. It's about
the third best edge.
So what?
The third best edge.
The third best edge.
Oh, by the way, this guy right here that just got drafted.
Yeah, that was him, David Walker.
So out of the Senior Bowl, from my guys that were on the boots on the ground, they told me that this guy might be a sleeper pick. Like he might be one of those guys just that comes out of nowhere that nobody expects and ends up just being this absolute fucking freak show.
His name
Well, his
sounds
grades
like a
say that.
badass.
His grades
David
back it up.
Walker. Somehow David Walker sounds like a football name.
And he's
21% pass rush win rate. It means every 5 times he passes, he rushes the passer, he hits home. Once.
Yep.
6'2",
Dude.
5 times.
6'2" and 260 pounds.
Outside
Hell
linebacker, get home.
I'm not opposed to it. Are we
No,
on
I
the
think he
clock?
already got picked, but what I'm just saying
That's
is
who we
that
do.
was the guy.
No, we're on the we're on the clock right now,
Yeah,
but he's already been
That was
picked.
the guy I was talking about. That was the third best edge on the
Give me-
board.
Yeah, hey, give me Billy Bowman.
Hey,
Give me Billy Bowman Jr.
No, dude, Tyler Barron. Pick Tyler Barron. We're gonna pick
Give
him
me
last
Billy
time.
Bowman Jr.
Tyler Barron. He's still there. I say take Barron.
Go ahead.
I say you
So
take
what-
Ferguson. We don't have a tight end yet.
Josie Drew go down.
We took Barrett Carter.
Josie Jewell's ass.
We need 2 safeties. Give me Billy. Oh man.
We need a front 7, Jake. We need
2 safeties. Do you know
We
how
need
many
a-
know, but we
coordinators
need
we
some
got?
dogs.
Evero. He's sorry. Come on.
I
now.
know, but I can say the same
Shit.
thing about safeties, though.
We need
he's not
2.
gonna use the safeties, right?
I mean, here's
He
the
uses
thing. Though.
safeties.
You have filled already so many voids just
Yeah,
with
Not
trading.
filling everything in one draft.
You're not gonna
Jadavian
fill
Sanders
everything in
goes
one
down.
draft,
We don't
but
have
you
another
still
tight
do,
end to
because
back
you've
him up
already
besides
done a lot.
Felipe
This
Franks.
might be a Hall of Fame draft. No lie. I'm not even joking.
Trevor Etienne, baby.
This is a Hall of
I'm
Fame
just
draft.
saying, guys.
I
If
ain't mad at that.
Sanders
I'm
gets
not
hurt,
mad at
his
that.
backup is Felipe
Now-
Franks.
Kyle McCord.
Felipe.
Kyle McCord has been making waves.
He
over
has.
the Senior Bowl.
Where, but is our center available still?
Let's see.
I don't want a damn center. We got a center.
Yes.
I don't want to
No,
center either.
Jonah.
No, we don't even know.
Jonah. Yes.
You can
we
wait-
don't-
you
No,
can wait
I don't
till-
want
Yeah,
Yes.
do it.
I don't
Jonah.
want I
Do
don't
it.
want
Do it. Pick
Fuck.
it. We don't
That's
even
not
know who's
a
going to be the
that's
center.
not a
next year.
priority. Y'all don't have no
Yeah, I do.
linebackers.
Yes,
Kane
it is a
Mason's gonna be
priority.
the center next year.
Give me Jonah. Jonah.
You got Barrett
Yeah,
Carter at linebacker right there.
Who is
we
our
got Barrett.
who's our center? We don't have one.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Kane
saying.
Mason's our center.
We literally don't have a
That's it.
center, y'all.
Here's
Yeah,
the
we
guy.
do.
have a
Kane
center.
Mays is the center.
That's all we got
There you
left,
go.
Pickle.
Yeah,
we
I
got
don't know.
behind
Yeah,
him?
well,
Bray,
yeah,
well,
wait a
listen,
minute. We
Bray
still got a
Christian's
fucking
gone.
center.
Bray Christian's gone.
Hold on,
Corbin ain't coming back. Austin
Listen,
Corbin ain't coming
so I'll
back.
tell you
No,
this
no,
about
no,
Corbin.
Yeah,
no,
Corbin
man.
will come back.
Come
How
on,
much
man.
are you going to
Hold
pay
on,
him,
hold
though?
on.
Guy-
Listen,
this
if
is
y'all
the
can
guy
come
that's
up with all
actually
this
got-
money to go get, hold on, if y'all can come up with all this money to sign a fucking Tee Higgins, why you can't find no money to pay Brady Christian? Stop it.
I want him to come back too, but I don't think he
That's
wants to
what
come
I'm
back.
saying, but I don't think they
That's
want
what I
him.
mean.
I-
It's a
No,
bad
he's
He's got to
relationship.
get starting money somewhere else.
I don't
He's
think
wanted
they
to
want.
start.
This is why I keep telling people that the fucking cap space is such a fucking hoax because here's the
I
reason why.
know.
Because here's the reason why. Go look at the New Orleans Saints for the past 10 years. Now, I'm not saying that we want to end up being like them, but you can fucking hose the cap easily. And they've done it for so many years. And I think Brant Tillis has already done it because you got to think about it this way. You only paid last year both Damian Lewis and you paid Robert Hunt. You know how much you paid them last year? $1.25 million. So just this past year alone. So you can manipulate the cap with your contracts. Now down the road, obviously next year, their cap hit's going to increase based off of what they got paid this year. But you can do that with, you can manipulate the cap that way just with any other player. So if they want to pay Tee Higgins that, you know, something like a $1.25 million, but then they say, well, it's a 3-year contract worth whatever the case may be, that doesn't mean that you're going to pay them, you know, $20 million out of a $60 million contract in year one. Like that's not how it works. So like people need to get this narrative out of their head that it's just going to be like, oh, well, we're going to just pay this guy straight up front that amount of money.
I get that part. But my thing is if everybody could strategize how to maneuver money, this, that, and other, because this is not an offensive tackle draft. This is not an offensive guard draft. It's not that. this is a defensive draft. You can, and if you can maneuver and manipulate the cap, keep the continuity of the guys that you already have here on the offensive line.
I mean, obviously, Brant Tillett's made it work over there for Kansas City to pay Patrick Mahomes how much money he's getting paid, and they're able to sign other players and still make it work over there and make it to a Super Bowl. So,
And the offensive line still sucks.
But look, can I just say though, even if we brought back Cade Mays or Brady Christensen, that's not stopping me from drafting the Jonah guy right here.
no,
Like,
for
we have
sure,
no-
because they're not-
yeah,
'cause
like-
one of them are a true center.
That's what I'm saying. So like none of these guys, like there's not even a lot of depth at that position.
Christensen as
We don't have a lot of depth at corner.
Andrew Norwell.
I know,
Michael
but
Jackson go down. Who you putting in?
yeah, but what
That's
would you
I'm saying,
rather
like,
do?
I think
Take,
that's more.
yeah, but what would you rather do? Take one of the best
But if
centers in the
Cade
draft
Mays goes
right
down,
now, or take a corner that might be like the 6th or 7th best corner in the draft. You know what I
I'd
mean?
rather go take a corner right now because next year offensive linemen are going to be better coming out. It's going to be
yeah,
more
but right
pressure
now, right now you're looking at, Donnell Fortune, who's probably the best corner right now, but I'm not going to take Donnell Fortune. I'm not going to take him.
Yeah, like a lot of these corners.
Outside corner, he's great man press, but he's not going to fit the mold what we're looking for right immediately.
But also, listen,
where we're picking right now, they're not going to be a starter anyway.
But listen, we're picking.
These are
again
guys you groom.
But Pop, we're picking again in 6 picks. We're on the clock right now. We can get another corner in 6 picks.
I mean, you could probably take.
Me and Pickle agree.
I think you could probably take Donnell Fortune at 46. But again, at the same time, I'd rather probably take, if it's me, I'm either taking Cody Lindenberg out of Minnesota, the linebacker, or I'm taking Jonah Monaheim at center, because at least Cody Lindenberg, because I know what I'm getting out of him. You're getting a 6'3", 240. He brings up a lot of size and athleticism in the position.
Yeah.
He's a sideline to sideline type of guy. He's a modern day linebacker that you're looking for.
Can y'all hear me?
His coverage skills stand out. He's fluid in the drop back. That's what I'm going with. I mean, if I'm going,
Give me the best center.
Why,
Jonah.
so then, hold on, Clay.
Jonah.
Why is he falling to round 5, or is this like he'll be higher up by the
that's
time?
what he was. That again, he's getting a lot of praise in the Senior Bowl, but PFF isn't giving him the same praise.
So he could be a jumper. He, especially after the combine.
For sure.
If he performs well.
I mean,
He's a good pass blocker, but he's not a good run blocker. That's just
he's a sideline.
He's
He's a Frankie Luba. He's more of a Frankie Luba.
No, I'm talking about Monaheim.
He's talking about the center.
I'm talking about Monaheim.
Monaheim's more of a guy that you're looking for that is going to be a future guy. Like, I think he in his first year, he's not going to start. I would probably say Cade Mays probably starts, but after that,
I'm fine with that.
But also the fact that you have Robert Hunt and Lewis.
But Jonah would end up taking over the role for the next 5 years.
Yeah, and you also have Robert Hunt and Gabriel Lewis or Damian Lewis
Jonah
right next to him. Like, I would be more comfortable with him right there with those two.
All right,
guys.
so if you want to go ahead and if you want to double dip in the linebacker and have Barrett Carter, and then have Cody Lindenberg there at 140, then get Jonah Monaheim at 146. You are sitting very pretty, because then you got to think about it this way, guys. We've already got Kenneth Grant. You've already.
All right, I say,
You
yeah,
think
I
Jones
said
gonna fall out? You think
let's-
Jones gonna fall to our next pick?
Jonah?
So the only thing I would say, I like everything that you just said, but I want to know the measurable differences between Lindenberg and Stutzman. Stutzman or how?
Lindenberg and Stutzman. So the difference is that Lindenberg is 6'4", 241. The problem is that I have with Stutzman is he's not as good as in coverage as Lindenberg is. Lindenberg's a better sideline run defender than Stutzman is. Stutzman's got a run defense in
his coverage is horrible.
Based off PFF. But when you go look at a coverage standpoint, this dude is way better.
Yeah, I like the size and the height, and let's be real, he's got.
And you're talking about a guy that plays better zone coverage because guess who
I'm
plays
good with that.
Who also runs a lot of zone coverage? Evero.
Well, that's basically what I wanted to know, because we do drop linebackers in like flats all the time.
And so if you want a guy that's going to stick with your tight ends and run back and man coverage, Cody Lindenberg's your guy.
I mean, I'm gonna be upset though if we draft a linebacker and then the next pick is no Jonah.
I am too, Cody. I am too.
So let me ask you this.
Also, we already drafted a linebacker though.
Right.
So as much
if
as you
that
might,
happens, if that happens, there's
want
a guy named
one,
Clay Webb.
Huh?
I was saying
I said,
corner,
so
but
if
I'm cool
that
with
happens, if Jonah Monheim falls, Cody, there's a guy named Clay Webb that was ranked as the number 2 guard in college football,
Who's the
and
best
who
corner?
also projects as a center in the NFL.
is he
Who's
still
best corner?
available?
You can. It says
Yeah,
search.
Clay
players
Webb.
There he
right
is.
Yeah, Clay Webb.
Yeah, but he's played mainly left guard.
I'm down
Yeah.
for whatever, either Cody Lindenberg or Jonah Monheim.
Go to linebacker. We'll try to get Jonah next.
I just think your better pick is Cody, and then you're gonna fall with Jonah there at 146.
I hope so.
So
Oh, so too.
Damn, we still have 6 more picks. All right, let's run through these. Let's move up because I still wanted to talk
fade
about
draft.
I still wanted to talk about the Saints before we close out the show because they're looking like the embarrassment of the NFL right now. But let's finish up this draft.
Quentin, you
So
value pick.
are we at
Oh shit! So Jonah went,
Ain't
but
got Jonah. No,
Fuck.
I knew
I
it.
told y'all,
I
man.
knew it.
I knew
But-
that shit.
I'll
He
say this,
ain't
I
no good
do-
anyway.
He ain't no
I
good.
do.
Overhyped.
Another guy
Overhyped.
that I like is Jake Majors. That I mean, if Jonah wasn't there, I'd take Jake Majors over Seth McLaughlin. That's just me personally, but you know,
It's
y'all
just
do
another
whatever.
Zach Williams.
Oh, that's messed up, Pickle.
Hold on, wait. What corners are available?
We need a corner.
I mean, your best
Fortune
bet
wouldn't
is
be a
Jonah.
bad pick.
I'll tell you this right now, and I'm not being biased by this. It's
Sure, we believe you.
Oh,
bro.
here we
I'm
go.
not-
Here we go.
Yeah, we
Well, he
believe
dropped South
you.
Carolina, feller.
So
Yeah,
you
South
want to go
Carolina.
with Noah Williams, a guy that's fucking 5'10", 195?
Hell no, 5'10" nothing. No,
We need a kicker. Just draft a kicker.
we got plenty of picks left for a kicker.
Do you think you have to?
Well,
We're getting a
we,
healthy kicker.
we need a punter
What's
and a
the-
kicker.
Look
Well,
at that
no,
run.
no,
Well, hold on, look at
We're
that.
getting
Look at
both,
that.
Pickle.
Look at that
Shut
run
the hell up.
defensive grade. Look at that run defensive
Hey.
grade.
Oh,
This
but
is
look at that
good.
coverage grade, and look at that completion percentage.
Oh my god, a run defense is horrible though. Good lord.
Yeah, we don't stop the run.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I mean, it's
is
a-
he
it's a-
trying?
You've already
It's a
fixed
corner.
that, though.
Does he
No, you're
try?
right. He is a corner. I don't know. It's
That
something.
coverage
like-
grade-
a corner.
look at coverage
Most corners can't tackle. That's why they're corners.
Look at that coverage grade. Though. That coverage grade was great.
6'1", he's
Drafting.
185.
Yeah.
Draft
just-
him.
Well,
either-
he's got
in my
7
opinion,
picks and
one of the
5
best
touchdowns.
corners the Panthers have ever had hated to tackle.
Hold
He
on.
hated to tackle.
Is that Webb guy going to be there by the time we're picking again?
We'll find out.
Quite
Who do we
potentially.
pick now? A corner?
Well,
Huh?
Now we're
I
just
mean,
going
damn.
cat.
I mean, we've got doubled up on edge, defensive line, and linebacker. I mean, if anybody's going through this defense, I'll be surprised at this point. Especially with Alfred Collins and Kenneth Grant. Shit.
Is the Davis Webb guy there, or the guy that
But Clay, honestly, you needed both of those guys, Kenneth Grant and
I know.
Collins, because Ashawn's gone after this year.
Oh, by the way, Ollie Gordon is getting a lot of comparisons to Derrick Henry. I know it sounds crazy, but he's getting a lot of comparisons from people at the Senior Bowl right now.
Yeah, he's good.
Okay.
I
I don't care. Just draft the best corner. Take Jalen Smith.
That's another
Well, we already got
Oklahoma
a
State
corner.
running
Do you
back
wanna take
besides
another
Chip.
one?
Oh yeah, I know. I didn't know you took what's his name?
I went ahead and took him because he was the best corner available.
What's the Webb guy? Is he there?
Oh, you're talking about the inside guy?
Yeah, Clay Webb.
Yeah,
Clay Webb.
He's like projected the 7th round.
Yeah, he's projected. back.
Get him later.
What's Cooper Mays? That's the brother of Cade Mays projected to be.
He's in the
What
7th round.
position is he?
He's a center.
There he is.
I'm
That's
just
way
curious
late.
about him. That's all. I'm just curious.
260 pickle.
Who's the best player available right now?
Quinn Ewers.
20 years.
Oh Lord.
Drafted. Drafted.
Damn it, 3 quarterbacks
Drafted.
in a row.
What about that tackle from Oregon?
whoa.
What about that tackle from Oregon?
We'll burn Twitter up.
You know what's so funny about this?
Oh yeah, he
Cody?
got beat. That Cornelius guy.
What's
Yeah,
that, Pop?
he got
What's
beat.
that?
I forgot that Clay is the one moving this shit around. I thought it was you.
Yeah, no,
Damn.
that's Clay.
That's because I'm the one who pay for PFF apparently every year.
Yeah, I like Kevin pay for that shit. Hey, Hunt, go back. I say Ollie Gordon, just because this is the territory that you would draft a running back.
Why not
Yeah.
Raheem? Why not get Raheem Sanders at the back end?
Who?
Rocket Sanders, man, the one that fucked you
He's
up.
the
in
Gamecock.
Oh man,
We're not trying to draft their whole fucking team.
we're drafting winners
Another
over
game
here.
cock.
somewhere
Why
We're
not?
drafting winners over
I don't need a
here.
team full of cocks.
They beat y'all.
Winners.
They are winners. They beat y'all.
I'm
Yo,
just
there's too many
fucking
damn
with it.
cocks in the
Well,
fucking
apparently
draft.
they're not
Only
that
reason
good
why
of
I
a
keep
winners
calling-
because they didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah,
They
that's
got
the
robbed,
reason.
Pickle, and you know it.
Bullshit.
How about this?
Alabama beat them. How's that?
Alabama's still sorry. I don't give a piss about no other team.
They still beat South Carolina.
He said, I don't give a piss about
About
nobody.
nothing but the Tide.
I gotta
Yeah,
go.
fuck the Tide.
About the time.
Fuck
Alabama.
North Carolina. Fuck
Hold on, shut
Hey,
up.
fuck
What's up, Kyle?
Tennessee, Rocky Top.
Dude, y'all made me be disrespectful to y'all. Kyle, what were you saying?
Oh, I was saying Ollie Gordon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, to me, this is
Yeah, I
running
want you
back
to know.
territory. This
Well,
is running
but
back. running back territory.
Here's my only debate, and here's the reason why I say this is Jake. I think Jake Majors is the next best guy if you're not going to get Jonah Monaheim, because of if you look at his true pass set blocking grade, it's at 84.6. His run blocking is a little bit lower, but he's actually projected as a 3rd round pick. And
Yeah, I'm down with that. I'm down with this.
The reason why I'm saying that is we need a true center. So if Jonah Monaheim's not there, you're talking about a guy that played 16 games and allowed 0 sacks.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down for it. I'm down for
He
it.
should have drafted a center last year in the 2nd round instead of an
Amen,
injured.
Pickle. Amen.
Right.
Well, his name was Zach Frazier or
Yes. Yes.
West
Yes.
Virginia.
That's what we should have did, but we didn't.
All right, so I would say yeah, right here take Jake Majors and then whatever the best players.
Yeah, we'll go with the best players available next. So we can get
Ollie not there no more?
No, this is a good draft, man. This is
Hall
this
of
is
Fame.
pretty quality too. Yeah, we got a lot of picks.
Well, Clay, I got a question for you. They said there's a Canadian quarterback.
Yeah, his name is I know who you're talking about. They were telling me about him yesterday on my channel.
Say his arm is ridiculous.
His arm is actually probably second to Jackson Dart right now. Jackson Dart's actually jumped the boards right now, based off of what they're saying.
I like Jackson Dart, but Jackson Dart not coming out, is he? He's going back to school.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's coming out.
Yeah, they're saying he's gonna be a top 10 pick or some shit.
They're saying that he might go above Shador at this point.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, after what he's proved at the Senior Bowl, they're saying that he might go above Shador. That they're saying that there might be a thing where you don't be surprised that the New York Giants take Jackson Dart over Shador Sanders.
I've heard that.
I heard that. I heard that.
But the guy that out of Canadian, you're talking about Taylor Elger Sama. He's a Canadian college. He's a 3-down football. Apparently, he played 12-man. I guess it's different over there in Canadian. I don't know. But apparently he looked roughed on day 1, but on Wednesday, apparently he showed a lot of progress. Showed a lot of sharp throws, handled pressure well. And this was from my guys over there at Round Table. They were saying that his upside is still a mystery based off of what they were telling me, but his work ethic and his able to adapt is really undeniable. So I don't know much about him, but that's all I know.
Let's also throw in there the boy got a cannon for an arm. From what they're saying, that boy has a cannon.
Yep.
Hey, also, this is not draft related, but I'm willing to bet that the Giants are going to trade for Joe Milton in the offseason.
I heard another guy that they said the third. They said the third best quarterback at the Senior Bowl right now is actually Seth Hannigan, this guy right here out of Memphis. This guy's thrown for over 35, 12, 25 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 98.9 completion rating, 13 games. So, but that
Cody.
That man went to Memphis though.
I think your boy from the Patriots gonna go to the Raiders.
That's not a bad one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not a bad one. But I think that the better question is, if you're the Patriots, do you even trade Joe Milton?
I wouldn't. I'm a Tennessee fan, and that's where the boy came from. I would not trade him. Because
I think Joe Milton gets slept on. I actually think that what Joe Milton showed in that one game is what everybody expected Anthony Richardson to do.
Yeah, dude, he looked like Josh Allen out there. Like the dude looked insane.
Anthony Richardson's a bum. He'll never be anything, and he'll prove it again.
Damn
next
right
year.
he is.
I'm not gonna say that, but Pickle, think about
He'll
it.
be another Lenora Sellers.
It's a leverage move.
Shit, you know better than that.
That dude's
It's a leverage move. It's a leverage move for the Patriots because, for one, you're not going to have that your franchise quarterback looking over his shoulder. Not only that, you're going to possibly get probably a pretty good pick to help you build your rebuilding team from the Raiders that need it.
I think at best you get a late 5th for him.
That's what I'm saying. You get a 5th for him, but I mean that 5th. I'm not sleeping on 5ths because I seen there's a linebacker from Detroit.
I mean, Bobby Wagner was a 5th.
He was a 6th round pick and he became a starter on Detroit Lions, and we're not gonna sit here and say the Detroit Lions ain't got good linebackers.
No,
just saying. So
what? 3 more picks. Let's wrap this one up and then we can call it a draft. What do we need?
I mean, I don't know what we need at this point.
Yeah, we really don't need anything. We pretty much got everything.
We didn't go to running back.
All right, let's go running back. Donovan Edwards.
Damn, that's it.
Is he the only one?
Did we not draft Gordon?
No,
we all decided with Jake Majors.
We need a kicker. We need a kicker here soon in the next 2-3 picks.
I thought we had
Why?
Gordon
The
this whole
Panthers are
time.
just
I was
going to
happy
let
with
him
that.
go. The Panthers are just going to let him go in favor of an average, older.
Oh, we can get
kicker.
that Miami kicker later. That's who we want to get. We get that
Oh
Miami
yeah,
kicker.
Andreas Bourne.
Yep.
We're not gonna draft him.
Well, draft him. Draft him right now.
Yeah. Tonka him anyway. Tonka.
Yeah, Tonka's nice.
I better not see a notification on my phone that we re-signed Eddie Pinero. I better not see it.
You know, it would be easier just send everybody home and just draft everybody from South Carolina.
Yeah, true.
Cody, I was on my rant last year of getting Eddie P out here last year before the season started. And I caught so much hell because I wanted a thicker kicker.
I know, I did too, bro.
We all did.
Even on Black Cat. Yeah.
I did too. And I'm like, why are we never ever willing to develop a younger, more talented kicker? Like, why do we always go for the average options?
Let's see how this pans out.
Is there any great punters in this draft? I mean, I know it's not really widely covered or anything.
I just went with the best
I'm a great punter.
I'm
a great punter.
We got Anthony back on the free throw. Just finishing up a journalism paper. Oh shit, that's right. I do read the chat. What's up, Ant? No, you sound like you're in a box.
A box,
dude. All right, hold on.
No, you're all right. You sound better now.
There's nothing wrong with some munching on.
Depending on what box you in, it could be a pretty good.
I mean, that's what I was saying. Like, it doesn't matter what box you're munching on. It's a good
what a
one.
damn
let's
draft,
not say that. Not all boxes created equal.
Damn it, boys.
Y'all seen this draft though? For real? Like, really look at it. Like, good lord.
No, we just killed it, boys. That's a great ass draft.
That might be the best draft I might ever seen before.
Just replace like the majority of the damn
Y'all
team.
know we only got 2 offensive players.
And that's all we need.
Center and a wide receiver.
Dude, Ted Johnson.
I mean,
Good.
we got your center for the
We didn't
year,
get no
so
tight
Thomas-
end.
But could you imagine if we did trade for Garrett Wilson
Oh
And-
my Lord.
and we were able to do this? Bro, we're fine.
I just don't.
Yeah,
I don't-
but if
I
we
don't
traded
see
for
that.
Garrett Wilson, we couldn't do all this because we'd lose one of them picks
for
No, you're
sure.
right.
or more than
Let
one.
us
No,
dream.
that was
Pickle. Let
no,
us
that was a-
dream.
That was a great draft, Clay. Appreciate you letting us use the PFF, man.
Yeah,
Uh,
anytime.
Yeah, we'll be doing it more this year, dude. We're gonna do 1,000,000 of them.
I've done
before-
it. I've already done 4 of like my true mock drafts, like breakdown. So let me. I mean, if any time, let me know.
No, I appreciate it, dude. So
A few
real
years
quick,
ago,
all right. Hang on. Where did I put the fucking Adam Thielen story? Here it is. I wanted to talk about Adam Thielen before we left. Is it a big deal to y'all that Adam Thielen is coming back? Because to me, it is. I think that he's the most, he's by far Bryce's most dependable weapon that he's built up the most time with. And I think I'm happy that he's coming back. I mean, adding him to whatever this arsenal is going to be is important. It's going to be
positive.
important. Yeah. And also, for getting the other guys the ball, it's going to benefit you having Adam Thielen on the field.
No, I completely agree, Cody. I mean, it's a positive thing that Adam Thielen's coming back. I mean, he's a weapon. I mean, I don't care how old he is. I mean, I know he ain't fast. I know he can't run like a 4.5, 4. He's slower, but the dude can run a route like the best of them. He's there. He's got great hands. I mean, I'm glad he's coming back.
Rice trusted him. The offensive,
That's
the
the safety valve,
offensive.
Pickle.
Yeah, the what the hell am I trying to say? The young wide receivers look up to him as a leader, and that's an important piece when you have a young team.
So this is what he said. He said, "Yeah, I think I still have some more football in me. I think that's what has enticed me to want to play again. It's just the progression, the leadership, the type of things they're doing to try to create a winning culture. I really believe in what they're doing. So there's a lot to look forward to, especially with Bryce and his progression. And then, just being able to add some pieces and see what happens." So listen, he said a while ago that he felt like we were going to be a Super Bowl contender. Then we were not. Then we hired a brand new coach, and now he's going on his 3rd year, finally building towards something. I really do think that the dudes in this locker room feel like Canales is building a culture that they want to be a part of in the future. And I think that's probably why Adam Thielen is returning or not demanding to be traded or any of that other shit,
I mean, for me, I think it depends, right? Like, I'm not saying that I'm mad about it, right? I just think it depends because of his age. Like,
Yeah.
You got on one hand, you got Thielen, who's this reliable receiver, right? He's led the team in receptions, yards, touchdowns, and especially he's good for developing, a guy like Bryce, right? So I think having a dependable target like that is definitely invaluable. His route running is, I think, very underrated. I think his steady hands, his leadership skills in the locker room is what you're exactly looking for, especially when you're rebuilding a team, especially for a young locker room like this. And I think his return definitely provides that continuity on the offense, right? And that's what we desperately need. On the other hand, you got to think about it this way, though. He's 33. So he's not a deep threat he once was in Minnesota. And that speed isn't as scary as it once was. So, his productivity is still going to be something that we need to look at as going forward.
Yeah.
So I think, like, in short, though, I think his return is definitely something that we need to look forward to as a stability standpoint and a leadership standpoint. He's not a game changer, but I still think we have a lot of work to do in that room if we want to climb up the NFC South, especially if we want to continue to develop Bryce the way that we all expect him to develop.
Yeah. And, all those things that you just mentioned that Adam Thielen isn't anymore, he really doesn't even need to be all of those things. He doesn't need to be the guy that takes off the top of the defense. He doesn't need to be the best route runner. It doesn't need to be the sharpest, the quickest. To me, he just needs to be dependable. When you put the ball by him and around him, is he going to come down with it? And I think that's what he's proven in the 2 years that he's been here. And, it's the last year of his deal. So we're not talking about like resigning him towards a future deal or future money. Just being here for this third year, being a part of what this offense is building into, which I think he does feel that. He does feel that this offense is on the verge of having a breakthrough. So why would he not want to be a part of that right now? I love Adam Thielen for that. I think he's a captain. His better days are behind him, but he doesn't need to be the Adam Thielen of old to still be incredibly important for what we do next year.
Yeah, I just think that we just gotta get a guy though. I truly think that we still need I don't think that like Bryce can't continue to build chemistry with Jalen Coker and Xavier Legette. Like I don't think that. But it wouldn't hurt to have a guy like a Garrett Wilson or DK Metcalf or Tee Higgins because
why can't we get that guy next year?
I'm thinking about it this way too, right? And yeah, exactly. I think also I think for me personally, I think Xavier Legette's going to be a better guy in the slot because of his speed, even though his size and athleticism says put him on the outside. But if you go watch a lot of his game film, and this is coming from a South Carolina fan, a lot of his breakout runs was when he was in the slot. And so, so that's why I say, yes, Adam Thielen could be beneficial to Legette a lot to develop to be a slot guy. But I think getting a guy like a Tee Higgins and having Jalen Coker on the outside could be a huge game changer.
So my feelings on Thielen has been conflicting because I was pretty hard on Thielen because it's not really what he does on the field. Some things on the sideline, acting out of character, slamming helmets, being pissed off. I like that in certain aspects of the game, but not when potentially you didn't get the ball, or maybe Bryce didn't see you, or maybe things didn't go your certain way, and then going in front of the cameras and saying some slick things as well. That's why I can't really say that I can call him a Carolina Panther. I still think he's a Minnesota Viking. But I mean, hey, we have him here. But as far as like what he brings to the team, as far as experience and what we need to have, because we got to understand that when we went to the Super Bowl, we had veterans and we had young guys to get us there. You got to have a melting pot of different guys, you know what I'm saying? Just like a podcast. You don't want to have a whole bunch of young guys. You want to have different variations of different speeds of different guys. Somebody older who's seen this, that, and other. Somebody who's young who, hey, had this perspective. Somebody kind of in the middle who's like, hey, this is where we at right now as far as how life goes for them. So Adam Thielen, I think he keeps himself young as far as his spirit. He's feisty. He wants to win. That right there is something that I want to see with our wide receivers. I haven't seen somebody get as flustered and frustrated since Robbie Anderson. So I think he has a lot of things great that he brings to the table. Don't know how long he can keep that up. But even though, I don't think this is a bad thing to keep him on the team or him come back for another year. I mean, it doesn't hurt us at all. It's better for us to keep him there because there's still a Jalen Coker who definitely praises him and say how much he looks up to him, and you still got Xavier Legette because it's funny that it seems like Jalen Coker and Thielen got a race battle that they ain't got out yet. Thielen is telling Jalen Coker that he's faster than him, and if that's the truth, young man.
Yeah. That's
that ain't good.
Yeah, if a 33-year-old Adam Thielen is dusting you,
but I think we also gotta take that with a grain of salt, though. Like I think like Thielen's trying to push Jalen Coker,
well, he's also keeping himself young. It's the
Right,
Muhammad
and I
and
think
Steve
that's
Smith.
and I think that's another reason why Thielen's doing that. Like it gives him that motivation to continue to like, hey, I can still play, you know. And so it's just like, I see what you're saying, but I think it's more of a motivational standpoint.
But see, this is my thing, Clay. The other part of what I was saying is what I battle is that now that we're going to have him from 3 years, right? Where do I put him at? Where do I put him in the category as a Carolina Panther?
Oh,
You know
as an all time.
Not all time, but do I count him as a Carolina Panther? Because some people have came and go. So it's like
No, I think Adam Thielen will be more recognized as a Minnesota going
right for others, but I mean as far as you know what I'm saying, as far as a Panther fan, he's like
I mean I would recognize him saying, thank you for the time that he spent here, but not as much as like a Steve Smith or even a Ted Ginn Jr. or somebody.
So I'm okay if he stays or he goes. That's where I'm at with it now, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, I appreciate what he's bringing to the table. I think he's going to have a good year this year. I would like to get another young guy underneath his wing.
Yeah. For sure.
Especially somebody with, whether we get him from another team,
it's just like if we took Ted Johnson like in that draft we just did,
Yeah, that would be amazing. I like Ricky White, the second from UNLV.
Yeah,
that's my guy. That's my sleeper.
Yep. There you go. I ain't mad at that.
Hey, talk about it.
Hey, all right. The last thing I wanted to talk about tonight, just to share in the misery of other teams, not just sharing it, but to take some joy in the misery of other teams. Dude, this Saints job is looking toxic, bro. They're almost $70 million in the hole. I don't know how they're not able to do the normal voodoo that they do to wave their fingers and make all the free agent salary dead cap money go away. But now there's a bunch of coaches that are pretty much saying, nah, we're not going to New Orleans. I know Kyle Kingsbury had already dropped out. I know that Joe Brady was rumored to be at that job. He's dropped out. Now, Kellen Moore still remains the odds-on favorite to be the next Saints coach.
He's such a sucker.
I know, but they're saying that from Diana Rossini says that Kellen Moore may not want the Saints job due to a lack of stability at the quarterback position. She thinks that Moore will eventually come to terms with it and still take the job, but something to keep an eye on.
But that dude I follow, rumors, he said that I asked him and he said that tonight. He said a lot of the GM is probably the biggest reason. The GM and the cap. It's just like the Jaguars. It's just like all these other coaches around about, or not these places around now. These young coaches are not going to go in to a GM who's going to be king on the mountain. I control everything, and I give you who I want you to have, and you will shut your mouth and be a good little bitch and do what I tell you to do. These coaches are saying, fuck that. I'll stay where I'm at.
So it's funny that Pickle says that because I have some inside sources from Roundtable Sports, and the Saints guy that I'm with on the NFC South Roundtable that we do over there.
I watch that often.
Yeah, and he told me that their GM owns third of the Saints organization because when the Saints owner that passed away signed off the will, gave that GM a third of the New Orleans Saints. So on top of that, what I've also heard from them is that they're not really interested in Kellen Moore. They've only interviewed him. Who they're really interested in, and based off of what TJ has told me, they are very interested in bringing in Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, I heard this too.
I heard that he was out.
McCarthy's pulled
He's
out
for a year.
Well, I heard that.
He's pulled. Mike McCarthy pulled his name
He's
out.
pulled out the job.
But you know what it was though. Hold on. You know what happened
my
though?
Inside source. He said that he pulled out, but he hasn't pulled all the way out.
But here's the deal: the
I
New
don't believe
Orleans.
he hasn't either, Clay. I don't think he has
The
either.
New Orleans Saints put out something that said they were no longer interested in Mike McCarthy, which felt like, oh, you don't want us? No, it turns out we don't want you, dude. You know, like, that's what it
heard,
feels like.
even though that they posted that, TJ told me that that's not legitimately true because the GM, even though the ownership he said that the ownership might not be full on in on Mike McCarthy. The GM is not fully out on Mike McCarthy, who is the one
who owns a third of their team.
To answer your question though, Cody, when you was asking
That
like
really
how
is
can they
wild.
not magically waive the 50+ million dead cap they're looking or below over cap they're looking at right now? The reason why they can't is because they kept kicking the can later down the road and finally it kicked back.
They don't have.
Either way, here's the thing. Here's the thing with the Saints. They're fucked. Either way, it doesn't matter. They are absolutely screwed.
That's such a great thing to
It does
hear.
not matter because of how much money that they guaranteed Derek Carr, and also on the cap space that they owe already with what they dealt with through the whole Drew Brees years, and now what this GM has done. It does not matter what coach they bring in. They are going to be in cap purgatory for at least the next 3 years until they can get themselves into a situation that makes sense.
And then think about this, Clay. Not only are that they have to get themselves out of that salary cap hell, they're going through a rebuild.
Yep.
They started late. They tried to do what the Carolina Panthers have been trying to do previous years already.
They were trying to do what we did in 2015, basically.
Exactly. And they started too late. They got caught up.
Leave that up, Cody. I'm sorry.
They got caught up with you good. They got caught up with the whole DA thing, thinking that he was going to be the same type of guy that like his daddy, but that ain't happening.
Yep.
And if anything, it's cost them more.
Yep.
Go ahead, Pickle.
No, here's what I'll bring up because that's what Dee's posted. And the reason why I say that, because that was brought up in the rumors space a while ago. And it was kind of hilarious. If the Saints tank, right? Basically tank, they got the number 1 overall pick. The Texas quarterback, if he comes out, Manning.
Oh, Manning.
Manning. If he comes out in the draft, the Saints have the number 1 overall pick. Would he go to the New Orleans where his grandfather was,
or will he go to Dallas,
or will he, will he just hold out because Dallas will probably have the 2nd pick?
Well, I think that's the reason why Dallas hired Schottenheimer, because they see him as a one and done guy. So
yeah,
they're taking for Arch.
Right.
That's
and here's the question.
It's so far-fetched for them to think that. I'm sorry, Pickle.
Yeah.
Because the kid could stay in football for another 3 years.
Yeah, exactly. And I wouldn't. And I told some of them that. I told Snake Jake that some. And Cole, if you think about it, if you look at them, the quarterbacks, Eli didn't come out early, and neither did Peyton Manning. So he follows the others, if he follows the way his uncles did it, he's going to stay in school until he has to come out.
You're talking about Arch Manning?
Because it ain't like he has to worry about money anyway.
No, for sure. He just signed a major Red Bull deal.
Red Bull, yeah. Arch Manning is going to be in college for another 3 years.
What are you going to do? Call up his uncle? I mean, come on.
I say 3 years. Bare minimum, Arch Manning's going to play 2 years at least for Texas, starting.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, if I got a Red Bull deal he got
a nasty one. Yeah.
But Corona man, what's the fun of them tanking then?
Nah.
That's true. That's what I'm saying. I didn't say nothing about tanking.
Here's the way.
I know you did, but I'm just saying, if he's getting all this revenue,
right?
And he's only played 4 games this past year.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe
the
that's
next 3 years. Oh, they're talking about taking this year to try to go get him in the next year's draft.
Yeah.
Why would he do that? Why would he come out and just?
No, he's not. He won't. No matter who's out there. Yeah, he won't. The hell no, he won't.
Maybe those who are talking about that they're going to tank is some of their own fans trying to make up reasons why they know their team's going to suck for a couple
Could be.
We got to understand that we're in a new age right now. Them NIL
Yeah.
deals are insane right now.
Yeah,
So they want
because
to stay in college. They
right,
got more,
because
wait, they already want to stay in college. Wait,
Well, they've
let's
already
that.
showed the numbers too. The amount of players that
Yeah.
have declared is way down. But it's better because it's going to make for better, more polished football players by the time they come into the NFL. Because instead of rushing to get to being played for, bashing their body against other football players for a living, now they can stay in
That's true.
college.
They're
and get a little
semi-pro.
bit of that money.
They're semi-pro professional football players. They're not college students anymore. They're
Yeah, no, that's true.
semi-pro
And Pop, they're saying
professional.
they're saying in the next couple of years that the colleges are going to have to negotiate revenue with the players.
and if
can believe
you
it.
revert
I wouldn't
this
be
to the NFL level, the way it currently is, give it a few years, some of these players, it's going to have a ripple effect in the NFL because
But
you're not
then,
going to have as many folks or as many talented folks coming out of these drafts.
but then you wonder why the NCAA is so watered down. You
Well,
wonder,
they're gonna ruin
you wonder why the NCAA is so watered down, though, because these NIL deals and these quarterbacks, and that's you wonder why these quarterbacks that are coming out of these draft classes can't
Yeah.
start immediately. Like
Right, 'cause
that's why.
they're not
That's why. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like so. And I think Bryce could be a perfect example of that. It's just like these whole ordeals with like paying these guys so much money. Listen, I think these guys should get paid. I'm not saying that they shouldn't, but these $1 million contracts that they're getting paid, that they're going to get paid in the NFL in college, that's
Gonna
why
get you
the
robbed.
NCAA is so watered down. That's why, like, these guys that go, like Jermaine Johnson is a perfect example. He started out at community college, then went to Florida State. That's what made him so good, because he was able to develop in a community college and then end up being a first-round pick. That's why we're going to end up seeing in these NFL drafts, when we start taking guys in these first top 10 rounds, that they're not as good as what we saw back in like the 2019 draft,
exactly.
or like the 2015 drafts that we saw a while back, because they're coming out and they're just watered the fuck down.
Right.
Unless Clay, the guys who do it right, and I'm not saying this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you'll have those
like the
guys.
Shador, the Cam Wars, the Alar, who actually sat there and have been getting progressively
and developed
better.
That's
and
why
better
you'll see
and
Jalen
better and
Milroe
developed.
become a UFL quarterback, and he'll never amount to anything.
And I believe Jalen Milroe is making a huge mistake. Now, I'm not saying I'm the biggest Jalen.
I thought
guy.
Jalen Milroe this year should have stayed another year.
He should definitely go back. If his team is, he definitely doesn't have the right people on his team, because anybody can sit here and watch tape and see that Jalen Milroe. Now, this not the same Alabama team that has been the old Alabama, where they're just dominant, because NIL, of course, right? But he needs to go back for a whole nother year. I'm sorry.
Yep.
He needs to. Really do.
It's also the evolution of the college coaches are now being the buddies instead of the leader of these players, because back in the olden days, you had these older coaches who would say,
right,
you know what, let's be honest, you suck on that field.
Why do you think Nick Saban stopped coaching?
Exactly.
NIL
all of these older coaches are hanging it up because it's not worth it.
And that's why
NIL did that.
And here's the thing, Cody.
Right.
As a Gamecock fan, I do have respect for Dabo Swinney. The way he does it, I think, is the right way. And honestly, because he's going to be able to develop players to the next level. And that's why that will probably see more production out of Clemson players like that, probably, than any other team, because Dabo will end up developing those guys and bringing them into the league the right way, the way they're supposed to be. And that's why you see Dabo. Now, I think Dabo personally, also at the same time, I think he needs to adapt to it. because I don't think that Clemson's going to end up in winning a national championship again until he does. But at the same time, I do think that he's doing it the right way.
Yeah. By the way, we have started to take people out of the portal. Like we've gotten some players recently.
He better.
Yeah, I know that. No, that's what I'm saying. You either adapt or die.
You more turds on your field.
You either adapt or die, and the fact that we're in the ACC, we're gonna have a clear shot to the playoffs every fucking year. All we gotta do is continue to develop players like we had been. Like even when we won championships, we were not loaded with 4 and 5 stars all across the roster. It's all about development. No, dude, we had some 4 and 5 stars, but we were not.
You're telling me that during that year with Deshaun Watson, y'all didn't have 4 or 5 stars on both sides of that?
Yeah, we did, but look at no, I'm not saying we didn't, Clay. I'm saying look at the teams in the years before that. We didn't have top 10.
Every
we
did.
No, I know, but
those years.
I appreciate the way Dabo's doing it. That's why I gave him his credit where his credit's due.
Yeah.
The same thing with what we're doing in South Carolina. I appreciate the way that my guy's recruiting, but he's not going out of his ass to try to fill these NIL deals either.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of different ways that you could build the team. I just think that Clemson, we're in a good spot, man. We develop players. And my only point that I was trying to make was that in 2016 and in 2018 when we won, I don't believe we had a top 10 recruiting class. And we won championship. So
no, you had top 10 on both of those, Cody.
I don't think that's
you were very I would probably say the Deshaun Watson you definitely did. But the Trevor Lawrence's dear, you might have missed it, but it wasn't by much.
Well, no, you're right. The Trevor Lawrence year we probably were because we got Trevor and Xavier Thomas, and they were both like the best players in the draft. Right. I'm more talking about that 2016 team.
Okay.
We still had a ton of players.
Yeah.
Either way, but it's all about development. That's the point that we're making.
Can I ask all y'all guys a question?
Yeah.
Do y'all like who we're going to get in this upcoming season as far as like?
You mean the schedule?
I think the schedule is better.
The reason why
I want to say I don't want to say schedule was because I don't know exactly when we're playing,
pan out or whatever.
Yeah. Right. So I just want to say like the competition.
I
y'all
think
feel like that schedule is harder than what it is. Do y'all feel like it's better? I think we had a weak schedule this. I don't know. Last schedule was kind of.
Did we have a weak schedule though? When you look at it on paper now, though.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. If you look at it now,
this year might be. This year might be harder. I mean, last year might be harder.
Well,
you
look at it this way. So you got LA. All right. So we'll skip the in division.
That's not really that hard of a schedule.
Let's skip the in division.
Last year's schedule was harder.
Yeah.
I agree.
So you got all right. So you got the LA Rams. They're in rebuild mode, in my opinion. I think the reason why I say they're in rebuild mode, unless they try to run it back with Matthew Stafford. The problem is
a rebuild, Clay.
The problem is how Matthew Stafford body holds up. That is going to be the biggest issue for them. You got the Cardinals who are in rebuild. You can't tell me that they're not. They're still in rebuild. I don't think they believe in Kyler Murray. I don't.
They shouldn't.
Kyler Murray there.
Now, I will say, I don't think next year, I think the 49ers are going to go back to being.
Nobody ever worries about the Cardinals, Clay. You don't never.
No one ever worries about but the 49ers, I think the 49ers are going to be good next year. Seattle, I don't really know.
I think Seattle's defense
Green Bay would be good.
Solid.
Away, Green Bay, especially if it's a late game. Yeah.
Dude, how about Buffalo at home? That'd be a good, fun game to go to.
Yeah, that'd be a good game.
Buffalo
I hope it's in January. Or I want it to be a snow game. I just do.
You want late? Yeah. You want a late game?
I do. Panthers gonna get bad snow, but I see it anyway.
Cowboys, it's fucking whatever. Jacksonville,
We got
Jacksonville.
beat
You
the
know,
Cowboys.
now hold up. Depending on what they're able to do, Jacksonville has a lot of talented players on their team now. The receiver they just drafted, Trayvon Walker, who they drafted a couple years ago, is starting to look good.
What's our matchup like all time against the Jaguars? By the way,
I don't even know.
I don't know.
I mean, I know they use
We have a
they make
winning.
it a big
We have a
thing.
winning. We have a winning record over Jacksonville.
Yeah, they're the younger brother of the twin brothers.
Yeah,
Damn.
I think the Jets are an absolute fucking shit show. So
Yeah,
I'm not worried about them. I
If
think
Aaron Rodgers is even back.
New England is another team that's developing, but they end up surprising a lot of people. The way depending on how their off season goes, in Drake May could end up being a team that could surprise that AFC East. I think that San Fran, I agree with Cody. I think they're a team that could end up bouncing back and being a Super Bowl contender once again. Dallas again. I think they're tanking. I think they're tanking for Arch. I think they're one of the teams that's going to tank for Arch. Miami, they're a fucking shit show. I mean, I think they're done. I think they got to start all over. I don't think they believe in Tua. Their defense they've tried to build that defense up. It's old. They've got a lot of old guys. Tyreek's probably going to end up being out of there.
If I can throw in, I think Miami has a really bad year this year. This season.
Yeah.
And I think they fired. I think they fired their head coach. They almost did it this year.
I heard that there was some
loss. I've heard he's lost that locker room.
Yeah, I heard that too. I heard that last year the players were like on the verge of giving up on him.
So I think for us next year, I mean, I think this is a year if Bryce I think this is where we got to pull the narrative of as long as Bryce continues to, and if we rebuild that defense the way that we're hoping to through this offseason and the draft, and we bring in maybe a guy to help him develop like a Tee Higgins or Garrett Wilson or whoever you want to bring in, right? I think it all depends on that, but I think it also depends on how Bryce continues from those last 10 weeks that we saw of that resurgence, right?
I want to
going into next year, that he continues that, and that and then I can see a 9-win season just looking at our opponents alone.
So I want to rebuttal that. Because I have my stance for Bryce. I'm not gonna go down that whole spiel.
Everybody does.
Played better. To me, the last 9 games he played was what I expected him to do his very first year.
Right.
But it seems like he's trying to put it together. That's my stance on that. I don't think Bryce, and I'm sorry that I don't agree with everybody, but from what I've seen from the last 9 games, oh my God, people are probably going to scold me for this. But what I've seen Bryce do in the last 9 games, I don't think he necessarily needs a number 1. Because I think when
I'd agree to that.
When the organization
I can agree with that
sits
too.
here and has him focus on one particular player, he has to force the ball to them instead of be able to do what they so-called call him a distributor of the ball. Let him play. Let him play freely and give it to whoever is open.
Yeah.
Yes,
I agree.
Yes, I believe you can have a dynamic player in the right situation at the right time at the right place, but that means you got to have different types of body style, speed, concepts, and play calling for that to happen. We don't have a small, twitchy guy like a Tank Dell. We should get one. We have a possession wide receiver
like a Ricky White.
Yeah,
we're talking
like
about a UNLV.
We have a route running technician, Adam Thielen. We're missing maybe one or two things. We probably need a blocking tight end.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't think there's too much that you need to get for him to be successful as long as he keeps playing at the high IQ. as soon as you sit here and focus on saying that he needs a number one, I think that takes Bryce out of his game. Because that's saying I gotta force the ball to him, and they try to do that with Deontay Johnson, and it did not work. And you had a gruntle wide receiver who thinks he's a number one, who's not a number one, and look what happened.
So then, Pop. Would you say maybe don't do anything at wide receiver? Like, don't get
No.
I'm
I'm
not
saying don't.
But why not though? Why spend all the resources if Bryce doesn't need that number one? Then it's kind of
I'm saying
pointless, right?
I'm saying everybody should do that 111. I'm saying you should have good players, but nobody's above one another. But at the same time, he's the facilitator, right? If he's going to put the ball where it needs to be and everybody's executing their job, and nobody's going to know where he's going to go.
Right.
Nobody's going to know where he's going to go. We don't have to have a specific, like, oh my God, just like Minnesota, right? When Adam Thielen was there, Justin Jefferson came out himself. That's when Thielen should have known he was on the way out. He said, man, I looked at the playbook. I see why Adam Thielen was getting all the ball. Because now that I've gotten to his spot, all the play calls are going to him. Because now the coach calls the plays.
Yeah.
Do you want your quarterback to be that stagnant? Bryce is not. It doesn't. He's not wired like that. He's wired to dish the ball out.
I think the biggest question for us though is going into this offseason, right? And it's just like, people have mentioned, it's like, what is this defense going to look like next year? Like, that is the biggest question. Like, Bryce put us in a lot of those last 9-10 weeks in a lot of those games. If you go look at from not even like a statistical standpoint, like if you just go look at the play itself, the defense ruined us in a lot of those games. You could go look at the Philly game and say, well, if we would have stopped Saquon Barkley or we kept him 100 yards, we might have won that game, right? It's not necessarily about like Xavier Legette making that catch. It has to do with the fact that you can't stop running the run game. Like, it's the same thing.
We're supposed to run. You got to stop.
It's been going on like that for years.
It's the same thing with the Tampa Bay games, both of them. Right? I mean, we got exposed by Tampa.
Absolutely.
We got exposed by Tampa.
3,000 yards. Say it together, guys. 3,000 yards since 1920.
So it's not necessarily that. And
I'm glad that we beat the Falcons.
That upsets me about the whole Bryce Young thing is like, you can't expect him to be a Patrick Mahomes. You cannot expect him to be a Josh Allen that ends up just winning you games when your defense isn't doing it for you. You can't do that. Like Josh Allen and even Lamar Jackson are guys that have proven that you can't just win this on your own. You have to have guys around you to be able to do so. So, I think that this offseason defensively is going to be critical. Again, if they make all the right moves, they make all and I think if Bryce continues to build that chemistry with Legette and Sanders and even Coker and this season, like Red Swarm goes, okay, 9-8. Yeah, I could see 9-8. Am I going to say that? I would say that's their ceiling. That's their
ceiling.
That the floor is probably another 6 to 7.
6. Yep. I think Dan Morgan has to hit at least 4 out of these.
I think the floor is 5 for them without somebody getting fired.
I agree with you on the receiver part, because there's a lot of receivers in these middle rounds that give you that description of a guy who you're going to throw out there, who's the gadget guy. He's the guy who he's kind of short, quick, fast, speedy. There's a different ones. One of them brings because I'll make jokes on the Legion Spaces about Squirrel White, especially after XL stripped that squirrel down. I said, "Run, Squirrel White, run!" But anyway, somebody like that. There may be a couple guys in free agency. Maybe one Deebo Samuels might be up for trade. Who knows? But just hypothetically saying, somebody that could just get open in the important times other than what we already got. I think a guy like that would be more beneficial than overpaying for a number one receiver. I really do, because Bryce is not going to be the quarterback that's going to be glued to one guy all the time.
Yeah, but if you put that pressure on him and go get a guy like a Tee Higgins, one of these guys that you especially you spending big money, they're going to key on, because I remember it. Look at my icon. When we got Deontay Johnson, he said the first thing we're going to do in this offense, we're find Deontay Johnson.
Right. And it didn't
go to
work.
him first, and it didn't work. That's not how Bryce is wired.
No. That's I'm more inclined to do the middle round rookie, or not have to be in the middle round. Just get a guy that don't force him. Let him learn and play as you go. I'm all for developing these guys. But that's me.
But boys, it's 11 past 10. I think I'm gonna wrap it up for the night. I appreciate each and every single one of you. Even Balloon Man, hey, appreciate you, dog. Hey, man, I appreciate all y'all for being on.
The Mac always does this craziness. Like if I go like peace with the Mac, it like does the balloon thing.
It does it for you.
Yeah, and then like if I do this, it does like a light show.
Oh, that's cool.
Like some craziness. Like I don't know. I can't.
That's pretty cool.
Dang. All right. Well, I appreciate y'all, man. Hey, man, y'all promote your content. Can I tell them where they can find you, man?
Yeah, you can just find me on the Robstar Report, YouTube. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Robstar_. TikTok is also the same thing. Robstar_. If you like NFL content, you like Carolina Panthers content, it's constantly post every single week, 24/7. So
that's it, man. Y'all check him out. Clay, we appreciate you, brother. Good to talk to you again, man.
Appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah. Even if you're a Gamecocks fan, you're still cool with me, dude. Poppin', shout out to content, bro. Tell them where they can find you.
You can find me majority on the Black Cat Panther podcast, but I'm a visitor on pretty much everybody because I support everybody that does anything dealing with Black Cat. Sometimes I may not say anything because I just sit back and enjoy the content because all of y'all do a great job. I
appreciate you, brother.
I've been supporting all of y'all all the way down to Clay. I'm not really on spaces like that. Every once in a while I jump in to hear y'all guys talk. But y'all got your own thing going on, and I don't want to come in there and mess it up. But man, listen, we got something good going on in the Carolina Panthers. Even though we don't always agree, we still keep pounding. Man, stop kissing that dog.
Always. Gotta pet that dog.
Hey, man, that's what Gamecocks fans do, bro. They be mouth kissing dogs.
Hey, my boy, man.
I love dogs.
Hey, let me tell you what. I have seen some. No, I'm not. Oh, the hell I ain't. I'm gonna say. I've seen some women. I would kiss a dog before I kiss him.
All right.
I ain't hanging out with you, Pickle, because you go to all the wrong places.
Yeah, well, I do live in Tennessee. How's that?
Jake, Jake, my brother, give me your final words for the free for all today, man.
Oh man, it was another great Friday free for all, of course, man. I just want to say, as always, quick prayers up to people in North Carolina mountains, prayers up to people in California that's had to suffer with the fires and stuff, and prayers up to D Money, brother. I'm still thinking about you. You're always in my prayers, man.
Yes, sir.
I love you, man, and prayers up to anybody that needs it. I love y'all guys.
Yeah. Shout out to all the prayers up. Yeah, prayers up to the victims of the plane crash. One in Washington D.C. that happened a couple of days ago now, and today, literally like 30 minutes before we go live to do the free for all, a plane in Philly crashes on a bunch of houses. Dude, it's terrible, man. The footage looks like a war zone, dude. It's insanity, man. Prayers to everyone involved. Hug your loved ones, hug your family, hug your friends. Like I said, we appreciate y'all for hanging out with us every single Friday and starting the weekend the right way. We appreciate y'all. Panther Pickle, I didn't forget you, Damon. I know you thought I was about to, but I didn't. Give me your final thoughts for the show, and then we're going to get up out of here.
Pull out that ice cream, Pickle.
We haven't done a lot of spaces this week. We've sprinkled them in with some of the other. We will be doing one tomorrow during the Senior Bowl. There's just not a lot of content out there right now, so appreciate you. So we'll do them this week, just the sporadic. But y'all keep pounding. Remember, everybody. Remember your fellow Panther fans, your content, and let's try to treat folks, even if you disagree with them, with a little bit of respect. Some of these beat reporters, yeah, they work real hard. Some of the content providers work real hard to bring content. There's no use to be disrespectful to folks. And that's about all I got. Keep pounding.
Keep
pounding as always.
Pounding. We appreciate y'all. My name.
Oh, by the way, Saints and the Falcons and the Bucks, shut the hell up.
I love it.
Philly gonna win the Super Bowl,
and you suck. I hope Philly wins.
Right. Would anyone else like to interrupt me as I give my final outro?
Yeah, Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes with 3-peat.
Pat Mahomes, shut the hell up. You suck worse than the rest of them.
Right.
Wow.
This has been another edition of the Friday Free For All. My name is Cody Lashley. We will be back Tuesday night at 9 p.m. for another edition of the C3 Panthers Podcast. C3 Legion, keep pounding.
Keep pounding.